Chapter 761 Pushing the Door Open, Subscribe Please, _2 Boom, boom, boom. Just at this moment, the 9 supreme beings of human civilization suddenly unleashed a terrifying aura, recklessly stirring the spacetime fluctuations of hundreds of thousands of light years nearby. Human civilization. Have they activated the clan suppression weapon? Activating the clan suppression weapon comes at no small cost. What does human civilization intend to do? What to do? Naturally, to protect that blood rain, right? The thoughts of the supreme beings processed at an astonishing speed, immediately understanding the reason behind the actions of the 9 supreme beings. If Lin Yuan could push open the heavenly gate this time, freeing himself from the two-dimensional world and returning to the main universe, he would inevitably be exposed right under the noses of the many supreme beings present. And with Lin Yuan's stunning performance in the two-dimensional world, there would definitely be supreme beings who couldn't control themselves and would directly attack, such as the insect race, the matriarch of the Tianyu clan, and the ancestors. Or maybe some other ultimate beings, if given the chance, would certainly seize the opportunity to strike. For a mere life within the river of time, such a grand mobilization, the supreme beings of human civilization, TSK, a grand mobilization, if you had offspring like blood rain, I reckon it would be even more exaggerated than what human civilization is doing now. The many supreme beings communicated with each other, but they didn't have any objections or aversion to the actions of Xia Qin Supreme Being and the other 8 supreme beings. In fact, they even voluntarily backed off a bit, showing their sincerity. One reason was that since Lin Yuan had freed himself from the constraints of the two-dimensional world and returned to the main world, even if his avatar died, there would be no fundamental loss, hence, the significance of killing him wasn't significant. Secondly, they too had tribe members trapped in the two-dimensional world. After Lin Yuan left the two-dimensional world, the other powerhouses of the myriad tribes would also successively push open the heavenly gate and leave. If they struck at Lin Yuan now, when their tribe members left the two-dimensional world, would the 9 supreme beings of human civilization just let it go? Rather than killing 1,000 enemies and losing 800 of themselves, it was better to take a step back. Of course, this was just the idea of the majority of ultimate beings. A few ancestors of the Tianyu clan thought differently. Because the Tianyu clan powerhouses who had fallen into the two-dimensional world had been eliminated right from the beginning and had no chance of leaving the two-dimensional world at all. Yet merely relying on the few ancestors of the Tianyu clan would not shake the 9 supreme beings of human civilization who had activated the clan suppression weapon. No suspicions have been raised. Xia Qin Supreme Being and the other 8 supreme beings exchanged glances and slightly relaxed. Currently, the aura of human civilization's clan suppression weapon still pervaded half of the scroll, so even a supreme being could not decipher the aura of the blood rain who had escaped the two-dimensional world. The reason Xia Qin Supreme Being and the other supreme beings acted this way was only partially guessed by the ultimate beings present. The real reason was to cover up Lin Yuan's true identity. If the many ultimate beings sensed that the blood rain escaping the two-dimensional world was merely a 10th rank life, then likely all the ultimate beings present would have thoughts of attacking. What a joke, for a 10th rank life to beat and crush legendary lives of 11th rank complete like the 4 divine kings. Even the 9 supreme beings of human civilization were somewhat frightened and admitted that if other forces had such a monstrous figure, they would also take action to eliminate them. CTH Nellfire. Any website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Luckily, the many ultimate beings did not think in this direction at all and just assumed the 9 supreme beings of human civilization were purely protecting that blood rain. In fact, this assumption was not wrong. If Lin Yuan had not actively revealed himself, the 9 supreme beings of human civilization would also have regarded that blood rain as a legendary life of 11th rank perfection. The two-dimensional world. Atop the heavenly mountain. Lin Yuan stood quietly in front of the heavenly gate which was gradually materializing from the ethereal. Soon, the heavenly gate was completely manifested. The thick fluctuations of spatial power rippled outward in all directions like ripples. Lin Yuan stood before the heavenly gate, not yet pushing it open but instead letting the memories of the past 10,000 years flicker through his mind. 10,000 years, it certainly was the longest period Lin Yuan had experienced since he identified himself as an evolver. Although only a century had passed in the main universe, the 10,000 years in the two-dimensional world were still real. Lin Yuan only needed to think back slightly, and everything that had happened over the past 10,000 years appeared before his eyes. Even if I still can't push it open this time, I will still wait for the next 10,000 years, and the next one beyond that. Without yet beginning to push the heavenly gate, Lin Yuan had already prepared for the worst scenario. After all, the last time the heavenly gate opened, Lin Yuan had exerted all his strength, yet he could not move it at all, even though his strength had indeed increased significantly since then. But whether he could ultimately open the heavenly gate or not, Lin Yuan still had no confidence. Let's begin. Lin Yuan gathered his thoughts and gently placed his hands on the heavenly gate. The next moment, the originally sealed heavenly gate slowly began to open. Lin Yuan was slightly startled. He had just placed his hands on the heavenly gate without even applying any force, yet the gate had opened. Even Lin Yuan felt that even if it weren't him standing before the heavenly gate, but rather an ordinary person, they could still easily push it open. What exactly is going on? Lin Yuan's thoughts fluctuated. 10,000 years ago, he hadn't used his physical body divine ability enhancement, yet he couldn't move the heavenly gate at all. Now, he just placed his hands on it, and it easily opened. This stark contrast made Lin Yuan involuntarily speculate. Whether the heavenly gate could be opened was not related to one's own strength. Was it about whether the heavenly gate itself was willing to be opened? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 762 Pushing the Door Open, Request for Subscription, _3 The term, Heaven's Gate, here is broadly defined and does not specifically refer to the Heaven's Gate before us, perhaps it refers to some other existence. Rustling. The Heaven's Gate slowly opened. Following a brief silence, the crowd of myriad tribes' powerhouses around it burst into an uproar. Heaven's Gate has been pushed open. I knew it. Heaven's Gate could definitely be pushed open, last time was just an accident. The many exhilarated myriad tribes' powerhouses chatted among themselves, knowing that even though the Heaven's Gate could be opened, most of them would still not be able to enter. But at the very least, they could obtain rare items through the myriad tribes' powerhouses who did enter the gate. Even if most of those items were to be taken by this particular myriad tribe's powerhouse, it was still far better than being left in the two-dimensional world. Heaven's Gate. New confidence surged in the eyes of the four divine kings. With Lin Yuan here, his chance to enter the Heaven's Gate this time was non-existent, but next time, once Lin Yuan had left, who else in the entire two-dimensional world could compete with him for a position at the next Heaven's Gate? Before the Heaven's Gate, Lin Yuan did not step in immediately. The different difficulties in opening the Heaven's Gate twice made Lin Yuan develop other thoughts about what was inside it. Since it's been pushed, after contemplating for a moment, Lin Yuan turned back to look at the excited human evolvers and then stepped in with his right foot. If this two-dimensional world were truly governed by some spirit that could easily alter the difficulty of opening the Heaven's Gate, then whether Lin Yuan stepped in or not was meaningless. As of now, the Heaven's Gate was his only hope of escape, and no matter his apprehensions, he had to enter. Whoosh! Lin Yuan stepped inside the Heaven's Gate. Immediately after turning tangible, the Heaven's Gate began to slowly close, fading away. The tumultuous force of the spatial energy at the summit of Heavenly Mountain quickly settled as if it had never existed. Cosmic Starry Sky. At the moment Lin Yuan pushed open the Heaven's Gate, Xia Qin Supreme Being and other 9 Supreme Beings of human civilization stood ready, activating their clan suppression weapon, ready to envelop Lin Yuan the moment he appeared. Sir the Novel, F. Iyer. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Other ultimate entities could not sense Lin Yuan's presence through the clan suppression weapon. Thus, the greatest secret about Blood Rain was preserved. As the aura of the 9 supreme beings from human civilization spread, other ultimate entities also cooperated extremely well, withdrawing their perception and focusing solely on white paper itself. Time passed. Xia Qin Supreme Being and the 9 Supreme Beings of human civilization immediately sensed that something was amiss. Because until the Heaven's Gate reclosed and faded away, they had detected no spatial fluctuations outside the canvas, let alone found any trace of Lin Yuan. What's going on? Where's Blood Rain? Didn't he enter the Heaven's Gate? Why hasn't he appeared yet? Not only were the 9 supreme beings of human civilization confused, but the other ultimate entities also felt that something was wrong. The space fluctuation stirred by the Heaven's Gate manifested in the two-dimensional world within white paper. Isn't it a spatial channel leading to the outer world? If it doesn't transport to the outer world, then where does it lead? The many supreme beings furrowed their brows, wondering whether Lin Yuan could successfully leave the two-dimensional world, a concern not only for human civilization. It was also a concern for many myriad tribes' powerhouses still in the two-dimensional world. If Lin Yuan entered the Heaven's Gate but did not return to the main universe, didn't that mean that when the Heaven's Gate was opened again, other myriad tribes' powerhouses who pushed open the Heaven's Gate would still be unable to return to the main universe? Xia Qin, where has Blood Rain gone after entering the Heaven's Gate? Yeah, Xia Qin, if he has not escaped the two-dimensional world's constraints, where does that Heaven's Gate actually lead? One of the ultimate entities immediately turned to Xia Qin Supreme Being and asked. Since Blood Rain came from human civilization, Xia Qin Supreme Being could definitely contact his true body. Thus, it was vital to determine the current whereabouts of Blood Rain who had entered the Heaven's Gate. And this was something that many ultimate entities at the scene were eager to know. What's the rush? Xia Qin Supreme Being, with furrowed brows, glanced at the other ultimate entities and did not immediately try to contact Lin Yuan. Although unclear about the specific location within the Heaven's Gate, Xia Qin Supreme Being speculated that it must be a crucial place. Lin Yuan needed to gather his energy to cope. Contacting him now and disturbing Lin Yuan was not a good thing. Xia Qin Supreme Being believed that once Lin Yuan had a moment to adjust, he would take the initiative to contact him. After Lin Yuan stepped inside the Heaven's Gate, he quickly felt his spirit will being elevated, supporting a shift from two-dimensional to three-dimensional space. At the same time, Lin Yuan also became more aware that he was detaching from some world, a vast, boundless giant canvas containing a broad and vast cosmos, from which he was rapidly escaping. Is that the two-dimensional world I fell into? Lin Yuan immediately realized that the giant painting was the two-dimensional world that had trapped him for over 10,000 years. The feeling of ascension, the feeling of descent, Lin Yuan felt it very peculiar. When drawn into the painting, he hadn't had the chance to fully perceive what being demoted meant. But now, extricating from the giant painting and becoming a normal life form again provided a clear experience. Lin Yuan carefully felt for a while, then his expression subtly changed. Because he then discovered that although he had escaped the two-dimensional world, he had not returned to the main universe. Where is this? Lin Yuan looked around. It was a vast space. Further away was an infinite expanse of murky gas, with only the giant canvas standing out prominently. At that moment, Lin Yuan also noticed an old man sitting in front of the giant canvas. In comparison to the canvas, this old man was extremely tiny, only half a meter tall, which was why Lin Yuan had initially ignored him. While Lin Yuan was observing the half-meter-tall old man, this old man was also looking at Lin Yuan with a peculiar gaze, continuously sizing him up. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 763 Replication of Understanding of Rules, True Versatility. Please subscribe, I've seen my elder. Lin Yuan immediately greeted. Although he didn't know exactly who the half-meter-tall elder was, the fact that he was sitting in front of the scroll suggested that he was most likely the true master of that two-dimensional world. His arrival at the Heavenly Gate and appearance here were probably by the elder's intent. Indeed, you are polite. Soar the novel_fire. Ed website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. A smile appeared on the elder's face. He had not communicated with a living being for too long, and though there were many lives in the two-dimensional world, none could pique his interest. Polite? Lin Yuan's expression remained unchanged. Facing an entity of unknown depth, was it not better to be polite rather than start a conflict? Lin Yuan was not foolish. Very well, you should now understand that this vast scroll in front of you represents the low-dimensional space you currently inhabit, the half-meter-tall elder slowly explained. This low-dimensional space is one of the earliest ones created, replicating as closely as possible a lower-dimensional world envisioned by the creator. The elder continued. Lin Yuan listened quietly. He had already gathered basic information about this low-dimensional space from the six-armed silhouette in the Xianhuang secret realm and stone statue Shenji in the demon jade space. The creator fashioned this low-dimensional space to help explore even lower-dimensional worlds, also designing it as a game world that could accommodate quintillions of lives at once, said the elder. Half-meter-tall elder glanced at Lin Yuan. Any life that falls into this low-dimensional space is considered a participant in this game, where the loser forfeits the spirit will they invested, and the winner receives a reward. These are the rules of the game. A game world. Lin Yuan thought to himself. The six-armed silhouette of the Xianhuang secret realm mentioned that low-dimensional spaces are divided into entertainment and gambling types, and the gaming world the elder spoke of seemed to be of the gambling sort since it involved penalties. Now, you have emerged victorious from this game, becoming the sole winner, the elder said with a smile. The sole winner. Lin Yuan looked surprised. You don't think that the other participants in the low-dimensional space could leave, do you? There's no such possibility. From the beginning, there could only be one winner in this game, the elder stated calmly. The Heavenly Gate indeed was a means to leave the two-dimensional world, but it only permitted one of the myriad tribes' powerhouses to enter. Lin Yuan remained silent. He had planned to create a specialized cultivation method for himself and for beings like Xianyuan Dua, a Tier 11 evolver, to strengthen themselves and increase their chances of accessing the Heavenly Gate after leaving. Compared to the Supreme Being Xia Qin and other human civilization Supreme Beings, who replicated 1 to 2/10 of the two-dimensional world in the Void Realm world to ponder and innovate cultivation methods, Lin Yuan, who had truly experienced every bit of the two-dimensional world, had more first-hand experience than any Supreme Being. But now it seemed this plan was likely to fail. According to the elder, besides Lin Yuan, no other myriad tribes' powerhouses could leave the two-dimensional world. All right. Since you are the victor, you may now choose your reward, the elder's tone shifted as he suddenly asked. Tell me, what kind of reward would you like? The elder looked at Lin Yuan. If it were any other victor, even those like the 4 divine kings at 11th rank complete legendary life, the elder wouldn't have shown such interest. But Lin Yuan, the perceptiveness he demonstrated was truly frightening. In the low-dimensional space, where everything resets to square one, the path one takes depends largely on their insight. Of course. Even among insights, those from higher life levels are stronger than those from lower ones, which is perfectly normal. Lin Yuan's life level wasn't the weakest among those who fell into the low-dimensional space, but it had no relation to the strongest. Yet, to break the limit of 129 realms in just over 10,000 years, the elder felt he should indeed treat him differently. A reward? Lin Yuan was slightly stunned. The six-armed silhouette of the Xianhuang secret realm had also mentioned that those who win in the gambling-type low-dimensional space would receive a corresponding reward. However, the rewards available differed depending on the dimension of the space. I'm not sure what the rewards are. Lin Yuan tentatively asked. The rewards correspond to the punishments. The elder spoke with slight verbosity. The punishment is the permanent loss of the spirit-will avatar that falls here. Therefore, the reward is the ability to take over various aspects such as the physical bodies, souls, memories, and insights into the rules, among others, of all participants in the low-dimensional game. Physical bodies, souls, bloodlines, memories, and insights into rules, among other aspects. Lin Yuan looked slightly puzzled. That is, if you choose the physical body, you can copy anyone's physical body from those who participated in the game for your contemplation. Choosing memories works the same way, copying corresponding memories for your viewing, the elder patiently explained. The low-dimensional space could permanently strip participants of their spirit-will avatars, essentially acquiring these avatars, and then part of these are bestowed upon the victor. Is that so? Lin Yuan thought quickly. The guiding space within the Black Planet was essentially a part of the understanding of fusion rules from a 12th rank life, forcibly segmented for other beings to comprehend. Currently, the half-meter-tall elder meant to segment the spirit wills of the myriad tribes' powerhouses who had fallen into it, allowing Lin Yuan to choose. Clearly, the segmentation in the blank paper two-dimensional world was somewhat more refined than that of the Black Planet. Which should I choose? Lin Yuan's thoughts whirred. Many of the myriad tribes' powerhouses that fell into the two-dimensional world were special existences, many of which were uniquely special. If their flesh and bloodlines could be perfectly segmented, it would undoubtedly be of great help to Lin Yuan, at least elevating his physical body to another level. Elder, Lin Yuan pondered carefully and made up his mind, I want the part that pertains to the understanding of rules. For Lin Yuan, his physical body and bloodlines were less important than the understanding of rules. The deeper his understanding of rules, the more perfect and stable his inner world would become, which would, in turn, greatly benefit his physical body. It might even increase Lin Yuan's chances of reaching the ultimate stage. Understanding of rules, huh? The half-meter-tall elder nodded. Indeed, this aspect was the most precious. Your insight is among the highest I have seen, the elder thought for a moment and continued, so I'll give you 2 more options. Do you want all the rule understandings of a certain life that participated in this game, or do you want the understanding of a particular rule from all lives participating in the game? The elder looked at Lin Yuan. Decide for yourself how to choose. Which to choose? Lin Yuan also fell into thought. The so-called all-rule understandings of certain participating life, the subject is life itself. For instance, if Lin Yuan chose the 4 divine kings, then he could obtain all-rule understandings that the 4 divine kings had. Whereas the understanding of a particular rule from all participating lives, the subject is the rule itself. For example, if Lin Yuan chose the life and death samsara rule, then he could acquire all understandings of the life and death samsara rule from all myriad tribes' powerhouses who fell into the two-dimensional world. Different lives, even if they contemplate the same rule, have different understandings and insights. Just as the space rules have many facets, comprehending the complete space rules is only understanding one aspect. Even supreme beings cannot master all aspects of space rules. The same goes for other rules and fusion rules. Even powers like the 4 divine kings cannot guarantee that their perception of rules is the most perfect or comprehensive, it can only represent themselves. If the understanding of a certain rule from all myriad tribes' powerhouses who fell into the two-dimensional world could be integrated and interact with each other, it might not be perfect, but it would most certainly be much stronger than that of any individual powerhouse. Pillar-level fusion rules are differentiated from 1st realm to 9th realm, indicating the depth of understanding of a particular pillar-level fusion rule. Without a doubt, the higher the realm, the more comprehensive and perfect the understanding of such pillar-level fusion rules. I choose the rule. I want the complete understanding of the spatiotemporal fusion rule. Lin Yuan spoke. The spatiotemporal fusion rule was one of the most complex and obscure among all fusion rules. Actually, to say that isn't quite accurate. The most obscure and complex fusion rule isn't the spatiotemporal fusion rule, but the chaos rule. However, the chaos rule isn't considered a fusion rule anymore. It is the origin of all rules, and none of the myriad tribes powerhouses who fell into the two-dimensional world, to Lin Yuan's knowledge, have any insight into the chaos rule, hence his choice of the spatio-temporal fusion rule. The spatio-temporal fusion rule. The elder nodded. Choosing this, you might need to wait a bit longer. No problem. Lin Yuan immediately said. Having waited for 10,000 years, he didn't mind waiting a little longer. After finishing, the elder's gaze returned to the vast scroll. While Lin Yuan sat cross-legged next to him, quietly waiting. The flow of time here seems to be no different from that of the main universe. Lin Yuan's true body and the Taiyin primordial spirit were in the main universe, able to sense the flow of time between them. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan's true form opened his eyes, his consciousness began to connect to the virtual world, applying for entry into Xia Qin Supreme Being's personal world. Lin Yuan's application was almost instantly approved, and in the blink of an eye, he appeared in front of Xia Qin Supreme Being. Supreme Being. Lin Yuan bowed slightly, aware that Xia Qin Supreme Being had been waiting for him. How did it go? Xia Qin Supreme Being looked at Lin Yuan and asked with concern, what exactly is beyond the gateway? I didn't notice any spatial fluctuations from that white paper. Where were you sent? And are you safe now? Xia Qin Supreme Being quickly asked. I am very safe now. Lin Yuan immediately said. That's good to hear. Xia Qin Supreme Being sighed in relief. As long as he was unharmed, there was room for easing the situation. I have met the true dominion of the white paper two-dimensional world, Lin Yuan pondered for a while before speaking. The true dominion. Xia Qin Supreme Being was startled. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know and report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 764 Fusion of Time and Space, thanks to the Alliance Hierarch reward from the book friend _ virtual world. With a solemn expression, Xia Qin Supreme Being spoke from his throne. Are you saying that the white paper already has an owner? In the main universe's past, objects from beyond often squeezed through the eternal spatial rift. Most of these objects were inanimate. For instance, the recent cosmic aurora from beyond. However, a small portion were living beings. During the years when human civilization lay dormant, an odd life form squeezed through the eternal spatial rift on the large battlefield carved out by the insect race and the Tianyu clan. This odd life form nearly brought an irreversible disaster to the cosmic starry skies. In the end, over a dozen supreme beings joined hands and barely managed to exile the odd life form back to the outside of the universe. In comparison, the uncertainty of living beings is far greater, enough to make even the ultimate beings vigilant. If what Lin Yuan said is correct, then the white paper already has an owner. And it resides within the white paper itself. Then, these ultimate beings would have to reassess how to deal with it. It cannot be said to have an owner, but at least it has birthed a spirit, possessing an independent will. Lin Yuan spoke of his conjecture. According to the half-meter-tall elder's words, the two-dimensional world within the white paper was likely created by an existence close to that of a perfect time being. Yet, the half-meter-tall elder himself did not seem like one close to a perfect time being. He was more like an existence akin to a spirit, or perhaps a caretaker casually created by the original being close to a perfect time being. As long as it possesses an independent will, it is considered a living being. Xia Qin Supreme Being furrowed his brows. No wonder these past 100 years, our multiple attempts at refining it have yielded no results. With the means of ultimate beings, if it truly were ownerless, it wouldn't completely be refined, but at least there would be some hope. But in reality, their methods of refining the white paper were completely without any feedback. There is another matter. Lin Yuan hesitated before continuing. The evolvers of my human civilization, once entered into the two-dimensional world, will likely not be able to come back out. Immediately, Lin Yuan repeated the half-meter-tall elder's words. Only one from the myriad clans' lives that fall into the two-dimensional world can ultimately walk out, Lin Yuan conveyed truthfully. So that's how it is. Xia Qin Supreme Being fell silent for a while before swiftly accepting the fact. If Lin Yuan were not involved, the human civilization's evolvers would have had no chance of leaving based on normal progression. If Lin Yuan hadn't fallen into the two-dimensional world, it should have been the stage for special life forms, and the ultimate victor would have likely been those of legendary special beings like the four divine kings. Lin Yuan becoming the final victor inside the two-dimensional world had already pleased Xia Qin Supreme Being immensely, if only because it meant not facing fundamental loss. Moreover, Lin Yuan mentioned that the final victor would receive a corresponding reward. Of course, as for what that reward was, Xia Qin Supreme Being didn't ask further. It was Lin Yuan's own fortune. It's very good. Do not feel burdened, it's not because of you that they can't come out. Xia Qin Supreme Being offered a few words of comfort to Lin Yuan. The fact remained just that, and even Lin Yuan's appearance had mitigated some of the loss. After all, he had brought out many strange objects. Even if Lin Yuan took half, and human civilization took a portion of what remained to each human evolver, these objects were still immensely precious. Even if they couldn't restore the fundamental loss of numerous human evolvers, they could compensate for most of it in other ways. No one else knows about this, right? Xia Qin Supreme Being suddenly inquired. They should not, Lin Yuan pondered for a moment before nodding. Even he only speculated this from the difficulty change when the heavenly gates opened twice, and after entering the gates seeing the half-meter-tall elder to have it fully confirmed. As for other myriad clan lives, they never even had the chance to be in contact with the heavenly gates, let alone think in this direction or be aware of the issue. Two-dimensional world. Lin Yuan sat obediently in the corner, secretly observing his surroundings. Are you wondering, the lives that entered the heavenly gates depicted in the scroll, where are they now? The half-meter-tall elder glanced at Lin Yuan before the massive scroll and casually commented. I'm just a bit curious, Lin Yuan admitted he had been pondering this. How long is the history in the two-dimensional world? It's likely calculated in cosmic eras. Going by the heavenly gates opening every 10,000 years, there should have been a large number of lives leaving the two-dimensional world. S.E.A. The novel, F. Higher. Any website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The creator of this low-dimensional space, that existence close to a perfect time being was benevolent, believing that even the most insignificant low-dimensional life should have the freedom to break free from all. Hence, the heavenly gates open once every 10,000 years, said the half-meter-tall elder. Any life that steps through the heavenly gates can shed the nature of a low-dimensional life. I usually toss them into a nearby universe. Oh, and for your universe, I've thrown in quite a few. A large number of them have already died off, the half-meter-tall elder said casually. The initial intention behind creating this low-dimensional space was to explore even lower dimensions. Secondly, it was discovered that if one parts with a sliver of spiritual will, it enables a comparison of understanding from the same starting point. This latter purpose gradually became the main use of this low-dimensional space. Over the long years of continuous improvement, a complete low-dimensional world was fostered, with endless low-dimensional lives proliferating within it. Later, following a major upheaval, this low-dimensional space fell silent within the Taiyuan relic. As cosmic eras passed by, it was ejected again by the various forces within the relic, and it automatically began to absorb all nearby lives, sucking them into the two-dimensional world. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 765 Fusion of Time and Space, thanks to the Alliance Hierarch reward from the book friend ___ 2. As long as the number of lives that fall into the two-dimensional world is sufficient, this low-dimensional space will slowly come to a halt and start a new round of the game. These fixed programs are imprinted at the very depths of white paper that even the half-meter-tall elder must abide by. Upon hearing this, Lin Yuan fell into a brief silence. Actually, escaping low-dimensional space isn't necessarily a good thing for those lives within the two-dimensional world. The Witch Emperor and Witch Ancestor, who once commanded great power in the two-dimensional world, might become extremely feeble in the main universe. Though their potential is substantially increased, how many can actually reach that potential? Just as the half-meter-tall elder said, the majority of lives thrown into nearby low-dimensional spaces would die in a short time, and the few who lasted a while longer would also perish. Lin Yuan looked into the distance at that huge scroll and faintly sensed changes occurring within the scroll. The flow of time. Lin Yuan's expression was grave, as he felt fluctuations in the flow of time within the scroll becoming tumultuous. In order to take away all understanding of rules from the game participants, they naturally need to be dead, the half-meter-tall elder rarely explained. 100-fold time flow rate is too slow, I'll speed it up a bit. As soon as the half-meter-tall elder finished speaking, Lin Yuan noticed that the rate of time within the scroll had reached 1,000,000 to 1, 10,000,000 to 1. Inside the two-dimensional world. The four divine kings and many other myriad tribes' powerhouses witnessed Lin Yuan entering the Heavenly Gate, which then quickly dissipated. They each left Heavenly Mountain, waiting for the next time the Heavenly Gate would open. Being 11th rank life, their aptitude for comprehension was naturally top-notch. After expending vast amounts of time and energy, they had also conceived some methods to extend their lifespan. Moreover, with the Ancestor Witch's 30 realms and the 40 realms lifespan extension abilities, it wasn't difficult to survive tens of thousands or even 100,000 years. Next time the Heavenly Gate opens, it must be me who enters, the four divine kings had ample confidence in their heart. Just then, the complexion of the four divine kings changed slightly. Through the coordinates of their true bodies outside, they clearly felt the changes in the flow of time within the two-dimensional world. From the original 100 to 1, it began to skyrocket without limit. A little over 10 minutes in the main universe. 10,000 years passed within the two-dimensional world. The third opening of the Heavenly Gate arrived. This time, when the Heavenly Gate opened, the four divine kings swept all corners and stood in front of the gate. However, what awaited them was the Heavenly Gate, immovable. 10,000 years. 20,000 years. 50,000 years. 100,000 years. Time and time again, the four divine kings stood in front of the Heavenly Gate, only to find that they could not push it open, eventually dying as avatars with great unwillingness in the two-dimensional world. What's going on? Why has this white paper undergone such a change? The difference in the flow of time is so vast. Soar the novel _fire. Ed website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Outside, many ultimate beings were enraged, especially the supreme beings of the Star Alliance and those of the Yu clan, who had paid a huge price to allow their kin to survive under the hands of blood rain. And they died inside after all. What then was the price they had paid earlier for? Xia Qin, what exactly is happening? The supreme beings of Star Alliance immediately looked at Xia Qin Supreme Being, as the change in the flow of time within the two-dimensional world of white paper had occurred after blood rain entered. If they were to say there was no connection at all, the ultimate beings present would not believe it. How am I supposed to know what's happening? Xia Qin Supreme Being shook his head. After my human evolver blood rain entered the Heavenly Gate, we lost control over the avatar, suffering a foundational loss. Xia Qin Supreme Being quickly made something up. After all, such a matter cannot be proven, anything goes. You don't really think that a mere 11th rank life can control this white paper, do you? Xia Qin Supreme Being retorted. Any ultimate being could see that the white paper contained vast energy, certainly well beyond that of an individual supreme being. Otherwise, it wouldn't have left dozens of ultimate beings at a loss for over 100 years. I suspect that this white paper is actually a living being with its own will. The fate of all the lives that fall into it is already predetermined, Xia Qin Supreme Being said. Ever since hearing some information about this white paper from Lin Yuan, Xia Qin Supreme Being had thought up an explanation. A living being. The ultimate beings glanced at each other. This speculation was not impossible, especially now that the flow of time within white paper was actively changing, which clearly signified a will driving this event. Could that will belong to that human blood rain? Blood rain had just entered the heavenly gate. Moreover, at the level of an 11th rank life, the thought of refining this white paper was nothing short of a fantasy. Inside white paper, Lin Yuan watched as tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years passed by in the blink of an eye within the huge scroll. Even for ultimate lives that had stepped out of the river of time, maintaining such an exaggerated ratio in a short time would come at a cost. Let alone the half-meter-tall elder maintaining the range of time ratio for an entire two-dimensional world. Whoosh! The half-meter-tall elder constantly played with both hands on the huge scroll, with resplendent light emerging from within the scroll which then gathered in the elder's hands. Time went by slowly. In the blink of an eye, more than a month had passed. Now, in the hands of the half-meter-tall elder, a fist-sized luminous sphere had condensed. Lin Yuan merely glanced at it from a distance and felt an infinite essence of time and space flowing over it. Is that the understanding of the spatio-temporal fusion rules from all the myriad tribes' powerhouses within the scroll? Lin Yuan's spirit was slightly uplifted. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 766 Fusion of Time and Space. Thanks to the Alliance Hierarch reward from _3 stripping away one's understanding of a certain rule, especially if it's done forcibly, seems like an impossible thing to do. Within the Black Planet, the fusion rules of the 12 guiding spaces are directed by Ultimate Life and are also voluntarily stripped away by Ultimate Life itself. But now, the understandings of the spatio-temporal fusion rule by more than 100 million powerhouses of the myriad tribes have all converged into that luminous orb. Lin Yuan speculated that this was achieved through the means of dimensional reduction, by degrading the essence of life, then cutting it out. This method could only be useful for life below the 12th rank. As for the 12th rank ultimate being, they could completely resist the power of dimensional reduction. Even if they fell into a low-dimensional space, it would be impossible to sever their understanding of the rules. The essence of a 12th rank life is there, not as easily manipulated as an 11th rank life. Alright. The half-meter-tall elder looked at the luminous orb in his hand and then turned to Lin Yuan. Senior. Lin Yuan immediately stood up. This is yours now. With a gentle toss from the half-meter-tall elder, the luminous orb flew towards Lin Yuan. This? Lin Yuan, merely looking at it up close and not yet touching it, was already engrossed. An endless flood of insights about the spatio-temporal fusion rule poured into his mind. Your perceptiveness is against the heavens. Watching the origin of the fusion of the rule of time and space rules, your understanding of the spatio-temporal fusion rule has greatly increased. Over the past 100 years, Lin Yuan, in addition to perceiving the 12-pillar-level fusion rules on the Black Planet, would also ponder the spatio-temporal fusion rule. After all, the spatio-temporal fusion rule has a significant connection with the assault on the ultimate, and being able to perceive the spatio-temporal fusion rule at the 10th rank could make his own inner world more perfect. In the future, when Lin Yuan challenges Tier 11, the benefits gained from the Chaos Void Origin infusion will be even greater. Whether it's the infusion of Cosmic Origin or the Chaos Void Origin infusion, essentially, it's about filling a basin with water. Whether that basin is only half a meter in size or as large as a lake, ultimately it will be filled with the origin that is poured in within 333 seconds. Hence, the larger the basin, the more water it can hold, the more terrifying the transformation that occurs. The basin here essentially refers to the inner world. And perceiving the spatio-temporal fusion rule is tantamount to being able to make the inner world more perfect and complete, so as to withstand more of the origin. Originally, Lin Yuan's perception of the spatio-temporal fusion rule progressed slowly, and he even had no hope of perceiving it at the 10th rank. This was only to be expected, as it's nearly impossible for a 10th rank life to perceive the rule of time, let alone the fusion of space and time rules. In this cosmic era, and even in the past 10 cosmic eras, such a thing has never happened. But now, looking at the luminous orb before him, Lin Yuan truly felt that his understanding of the spatio-temporal fusion rule was improving every second. Your perceptiveness is against the heavens. Watching the origin of the fusion of the rule of time and space rules, your understanding of the spatio-temporal fusion rule has greatly increased. Lin Yuan intently gazed at the luminous orb before him. At this moment, his entire spirit, including his true body, the Taiyin primordial spirit, and many incarnations, all gave up what they were doing to start comprehending the luminous orb. In front of the huge scroll, after the half-meter-tall elder tossed the luminous orb to Lin Yuan, he noticed that the latter's attention was completely immersed in it. He's actually started having a sudden enlightenment. The half-meter-tall elder raised his eyebrows, but he was not surprised. For any powerhouse, sudden enlightenment is a rare opportunity, during which one's understanding could skyrocket. Even for 12th rank life, it is extremely difficult to experience such enlightenment. But Lin Yuan, the half-meter-tall elder, had deep impressions. Without being a 12th rank life, his perceptiveness was stronger than most 12th rank lives, and by quite a lot, completely defying any logic. Lin Yuan falling into sudden enlightenment actually seemed entirely normal to the half-meter-tall elder. I wonder how great the improvement from this enlightenment will be. Regarding the rule of spatio-temporal fusion, perhaps he can make further progress. The half-meter-tall elder speculated with interest. Even with such direct understanding of the rules like the luminous orb, absorbing it is not an overnight affair. It's like a person who is extremely hungry in front of a cart of steamed buns. To satisfy the hunger, even if they open up their stomach without any restrictions, from putting the buns in the mouth to swallowing them and then digesting, time is required nonetheless. Of course, this time frame compared to normal comprehension, that is, the complex processes from making a bun from scratch, planting the wheat seeds, growing the wheat, making it into flour, and finally making the buns, is much simpler by far. But, no matter how simple, it still takes time. Your perceptiveness is against the heavens. Watching the origin of the fusion of the rule of time and space rules, you have perceived the spatio-temporal fusion rule, SEA the Oval Fire. Ed website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. On the Milky Way main star, Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, and the numerous inspirations about the fusion rule of time and space that emerged in his mind finally led to a qualitative change. At that moment, time and space completely lost their boundaries before Lin Yuan, and the two could easily fuse together. So that's how it is. Lin Yuan's expression showed realization, as strands of the rule of time and space rules power continuously merged, converging into a new force that possessed both aspects of space and time, yet was more than that. This was the power of the spatio-temporal fusion rule. Among the many fusion rules, the spatio-temporal fusion rule is definitely the most powerful. So that's how it is. Within white paper, Lin Yuan's expression also revealed a look of realization. Raising his right hand, the forces of time and space seemed like playthings, intertwining and merging at his fingertips. He has perceived the spatio-temporal fusion rule just like that. Not far away, the half-meter-tall elder, observing Lin Yuan, couldn't help but reveal a look of astonishment. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 767 Setting Sail Again, end of this volume. thanks to the Alliance hierarch reward from underscore. What a monstrous talent, the half-meter-tall old man marveled to himself, for he had discerned that Lin Yuan's comprehension of the spatiotemporal fusion rule was not profound when he was in the two-dimensional world. There was an unimaginably long distance to go before he could enlighten the spatiotemporal fusion rule. This time, by offering Lin Yuan the insight into the spatiotemporal fusion rule he had cut off, he merely speculated that Lin Yuan would take a big step toward that enlightenment, at most. But who could have imagined that Lin Yuan would directly enlighten the spatiotemporal fusion rule? As long as he can overcome the challenge of the 12th rank life, perhaps he may one day grow close to the heights of a perfect time being. The half-meter-tall old man silently pondered. Being close to a perfect time being was the highest praise he could think of. As for a real perfect time being, they could easily traverse numerous timelines, able to reverse the past and alter the future at will. A perfect time being is an existence that transcends dimensions and cannot be described in terms of normal life. Milky Way main star. After Lin Yuan enlightened the spatiotemporal fusion rule, his consciousness immediately descended into his inner world. Source: web novel. Com updated on N0New0. Boom boom boom. As time and space completely merged, his inner world began to transform, and while its superficial size remained the same, the number of spatial layers instantly reached 100 billion. And seemingly intangible, every aspect of his inner world saw significant improvement. My inner world now. If I were to undergo the Chaos Void Origin Infusion once more, it would withstand an Origin Infusion over 10,000 times more than when breaking through from the 9th to the 10th rank. Lin Yuan had an idea. His enlightenment of the spatiotemporal fusion rule had brought him an enormous boost, even within the ranks of 11th rank lives. This was a metamorphosis, entering the 4th layer of the 11th tier. That crystal light group, Lin Yuan's spirit was exhilarated. Encased within the crystal light group were the comprehensions regarding the spatiotemporal fusion rule from all the myriad tribes' powerhouses that had fallen into the two-dimensional world. This naturally included the insights from legendary lives like the 4 divine kings and the skinny old man, who were at the level 11 perfection, regarding the spatiotemporal fusion rule. And these legendary lives had all reached the 5th realm in the spatiotemporal fusion rule. In other words, the minimum threshold for that crystal light group is to elevate Lin Yuan's understanding of the spatiotemporal fusion rule to the 5th realm. And the limit? With over 100 million myriad tribes powerhouses, different facets of understanding the spatiotemporal fusion rule, a quantitative change could induce a qualitative change, possibly enabling Lin Yuan to step into the 6th realm in the spatiotemporal fusion rule domain in one fell swoop. It's known that fusion rules range from the 1st realm to the 9th realm. A 7th realm in an ordinary fusion rule is the maximum level obtainable by an 11th rank life. And the 7th realm in pillar-level fusion rules is the domain of ultimate beings. As for the 7th realm in a top-level fusion rule like the spatiotemporal fusion rule, let alone the 7th realm, even the 6th realm is something only ultimate beings can enlighten. If Lin Yuan were to practice the spatiotemporal fusion rule to the 6th realm, it would mean that he could, in some aspects, stand shoulder to shoulder with an ultimate being. The spacetime fusion rule 6-fold realm is still too far away. Lin Yuan steadied his spirit. Such a leap into the spacetime fusion rule 6-fold realm was in theory only. A quantitative change inducing a qualitative change is true, but if understanding from merely 100 million myriad tribes powerhouses could achieve the 6th realm, then the domain of ultimate beings would seem rather cheap. And among these 100 million myriad tribes powerhouses, the vast majority were 8th and 9th rank, with a rather one-sided understanding of the spatiotemporal fusion rule. Within the white paper. After enlightening the spatiotemporal fusion rule, Lin Yuan collected his thoughts and bowed slightly towards the half-meter-tall old man. Thank you, Elder. Although it's true that Lin Yuan's insights into the spatiotemporal fusion rule came entirely from the rules of the low-dimensional space, it's always right to be polite. No need to thank me, all this is what you deserve. The half-meter-tall old man looked deeply at Lin Yuan. The same spatiotemporal fusion rule insights that could take other strong beings centuries to absorb just a portion and thereby enlighten the spatiotemporal fusion rule. yet Lin Yuan only spent less than half an hour. The gap is something anyone could see. Now that the game is over, as for those participants who died, the essence and mysteries of their physical bodies, their understanding of other rules, their soul core and so on, keeping them myself would be of no use. Would you want them? The half-meter-tall old man asked after a moment of silence. Ah. These I can have. SAR the Novel Fire, any *T website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lin Yuan looked at the half-meter-tall old man in bewilderment. Weren't we supposed to choose only one? Why can we choose everything now? According to the rules, you can only choose one, but I have the authority to handle the rest, and keeping them here would be a waste, the half-meter-tall old man explained. Then, I want them, Lin Yuan immediately said. What a joke. Given the exaggerated effect of watching the crystal light group just now, if Lin Yuan were to hesitate, he'd truly be a fool. It's like an enormous stroke of fortune falling from the sky. Then they're yours, the half-meter-tall old man said without hesitation, waving his right hand, and 4 more crystal light groups appeared, flying towards Lin Yuan. Compared with the crystal light group that represented the understanding of the spatiotemporal fusion rule, these 4 light groups were much murkier and nowhere near as pure as the former. These 4 parts, I did not especially purify. You might encounter some disturbances during your comprehension, the half-meter-tall old man cautioned. Understood, Lin Yuan nodded. Even if they were murkier, comprehending them would be far simpler than directly understanding the fusion rules, equivalent to a shortcut to the heavens. If possible, try to comprehend the chaos rules before you challenge the 12th rank, the half-meter-tall elder pondered for a while before he spoke. Chaos rules. Lin Yuan put away the 5 sparkling orbs and looked toward the half-meter-tall elder seated before the huge scroll. This was not the first time Lin Yuan had heard of the chaos rules. Shen Ji from the demon jade space, the spirit of the Xianhuang secret realm, and Xia Qin, the supreme being, had all mentioned the chaos rules. Correct. Of course, don't pursue the chaos rules too eagerly. After all, for lives below the 12th rank, they are but a legend, said the half-meter-tall elder. Seeing Lin Yuan's displayed perceptiveness, combined with the understanding of rules from over 100 million powerhouses, gave the half-meter-tall elder an inexplicable confidence. All right. Lin Yuan nodded. To comprehend the chaos rules would be greatly beneficial for challenging the ultimate. If possible, Lin Yuan would naturally do his best to understand them. This game is over, it's time for me to leave, the half-meter-tall elder sighed. He controlled white paper and stayed within this universe, which seemed to the outside world as if he were being prevented from leaving by the actions of many supreme beings. But in reality, it was after absorbing enough lives into the scroll, followed by the start of the game, that he stopped, which was more a matter of going with the flow. Leave. Lin Yuan looked at the half-meter-tall elder. Yes. How do you plan to leave? Will you head out directly, or should I send you to a hidden location? The half-meter-tall elder asked. Aware of many 12th rank lives peeking outside the scroll, he had naturally taken notice well in advance. Therefore, he made a point of asking Lin Yuan. Send me to a hidden location, Lin Yuan said without hesitation. Going out directly would be like exposing himself to numerous ultimate entities. If it were before, when the many powerhouses of the myriad tribes in the two-dimensional world were not yet dead, there probably wouldn't be any serious trouble, as long as the 9 supreme beings of human civilization swiftly concealed Lin Yuan's aura to prevent it from leaking the life aura of the 10th rank. But now, in the two-dimensional world, apart from Lin Yuan, the other powerhouses of the myriad tribes had died out, becoming nourishment for Lin Yuan's growth. The spatio-temporal fusion rule was comprehended directly, not without the support of the 4 divine kings and many other special lives. Going out at this time is not to say that the 9 supreme beings of human civilization could not protect him, but it would definitely trigger a grand battle at the level of the 12th stage powerhouses. No problem, said the half-meter-tall elder with a nod. He had a way to elude the perception of the 12th rank powerhouses. Previously, when he sent out the native lives that had entered the celestial gate in the two-dimensional world, it was also done quietly, without any ultimate entities knowing. Outside the scroll, the numerous supreme beings covertly surrounded the mysterious scroll. Ever since their own people died in the two-dimensional world and after Xia Qin, the supreme being, guided the reasoning towards white paper being a living creature, the many supreme beings were considering using force against white paper. At that moment, buzz, buzz, buzz. Under the astonished gazes of all the supreme beings, the slowly unfolding mysterious scroll began to sway slightly. Every sway stirred up millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of light-years of space-time fluctuations. Not good. The white paper wants to leave. The numerous supreme beings changed their expressions, immediately sensing white paper's intent. But it was to no avail. Even with the combined efforts of all the supreme beings to suppress it, they still couldn't stop white paper. Boom! Immense powers of space-time churned, and white paper, breaking free from the supreme being's suppression, began to fly through the cosmic starry skies at a terrifying speed. Soon, a vast crack appeared, and white paper smoothly rushed into the fissure, leaving this universe. The next moment, the numerous supreme beings arrived in time to see the now vanished white paper, their expressions turning ugly. Supreme beings receive too many gifts from the universe. Once they enter the chaos void, they will face the repulsion of the entire universe, so no supreme being dares to pursue. We've suffered a great loss this time, the supreme being from the Star Alliance thought bitterly. In this event, the unique lives of their Star Alliance faced fundamental losses, and even the hope that was the 4 divine kings with their prospect of reaching the ultimate, would see reduced chances of challenging the ultimate because of this event. Besides, the Star Alliance also lost a supreme weapon, the one that the 4 divine kings had taken into the two-dimensional world. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan looked towards the space rift that white paper had entered from afar. White paper squeezed into the universe and now extricated itself from it in just over 100 years, but its impact on the starry sky races was profound. Particularly for Lin Yuan. Compared to the other starry sky races, the losses of strength for the various peak clans, Lin Yuan's gain can be described as unprecedented. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 768 Inventory Gains, Subscribe requested, in the depths of the cosmic starry skies. This is a desolate star domain, where, for hundreds of thousands of light-years around, not a single planet is seen. Just then, a slight spatial fluctuation sent out ripples, and Lin Yuan's figure appeared out of nowhere. Where is this? The territory of the Star Alliance. Lin Yuan immediately used the position of his true body as a coordinate to determine his current location. I didn't expect that the white paper senior would send me here. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. Before leaving this universe, the half-meter-tall elder had casually tossed Lin Yuan out. And according to Lin Yuan, the farther away the better, given that there were dozens of ultimate beings surrounding white paper at the time. Being thrown too close, causing ultimate beings who were adept at the space Great Tao to detect abnormalities, would have been troublesome. I wonder if he'll have the chance to meet White Paper Senior again, Lin Yuan mused from within the depths of multiple spatial layers, looking towards a far distant point where a massive spatial crack was slowly healing. The trip to the low-dimensional space had made a deep impression on Lin Yuan and given him more speculation about the door to the myriad realms. Sar the Nelfer. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. So-called low-dimensional spaces are merely the product created by those near-perfect temporal beings to explore other dimensions. That is to say, even beings nearing perfect temporal life cannot break dimensional limitations and wander through different dimensions. But the door to the myriad realms. It easily accomplishes this feat. Could it be that the door to the myriad realms is a treasure at the level of perfect temporal life? Lin Yuan hypothesized in his mind. From the half-meter-tall elder, he had learned of the terrifying nature of perfect temporal life, almost omnipotent, capable of easily overturning timelines if they wished. Forget it. Thinking about this now is too premature. Lin Yuan reined in his thoughts. He wasn't even a supreme being now, considering perfect temporal life was meaningless. Anyway, the door to the myriad realms already recognized him as its master. Once his power reached that level, everything would become clear. I should head back as soon as possible. After surveying his surroundings and confirming there were no powerful beings from the Star Alliance nearby, Lin Yuan immediately planned to return to the territory of human civilization. The Star Alliance's territory is vast, but it's a typical case of a wide land with few people. After all, the Star Alliance is primarily made up of many special life forms. And special life forms do not have the reproductive capabilities like human civilizations. Even the most common special life form probably takes decades or even hundreds of years for a single reproductive cycle. Of course, the insect race has the strongest reproductive ability. However, the insect race creating insect race warriors doesn't entirely count as reproduction, as insect race warriors are completely controlled by the queen with no independent will, so they don't qualify as life. As for reproduction among the formal members of the insect race, it takes even longer than most special life forms. Let's go. Lin Yuan took a step, disappeared, and reappeared a million light-years away. Having grasped the spatio-temporal fusion rule, the speed at which Lin Yuan traveled had increased by who knows how much. A single step covering a million light-years was already the result of him actively restraining himself, to prevent causing too large of a spatial fluctuation that might attract the attention of powerful special life forms within the territory. If Lin Yuan were to go all out, he could easily take a step spanning 10 million light-years, or even tens of millions of light-years. In short, since grasping the spatio-temporal fusion rule, distance had lost much of its meaning to Lin Yuan. If Lin Yuan could elevate the spatio-temporal fusion rule to the second realm, the third realm, the distance he could cross in one step would only increase. What if I combined it with the 9 steps of spacetime? Lin Yuan shook his head slightly, deciding to wait for an opportunity to test his ultimate speed. The Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, a smile appearing on his face. The trip into the two-dimensional world, though fraught with great danger that risked erasing his Taiyang divine spirit completely, thus affecting the foundation of his martial Tao, was, at the same time, hugely rewarding as long as he could get out smoothly. The first gain was everything from the myriad tribes' powerhouses, their physical bodies, souls, and many other mysteries, as well as their understanding and comprehension of the rules, all of which fell into Lin Yuan's hands. Although according to the half-meter-tall elder's intention, except for the spatio-temporal fusion rule comprehension, other aspects were all unrefined and unpurified, therefore Lin Yuan had to be a bit more careful when studying them, but it was still far beyond his expectations and countless times easier than starting from scratch. Next came the exotic objects. Being able to wander every corner of the two-dimensional world for 10,000 years, Lin Yuan naturally acquired quite a few exotic objects. These objects were not very useful in the two-dimensional world, at least not to Lin Yuan, who was invincible in that world at the time. They made no difference to him. But as soon as he brought them out, they would be considered 12-star strange treasures. If I had known that only one victor could exist, I could have extorted those peak clans again. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. During the second opening of the Heaven's Gate, when Lin Yuan pushed it open, the other powerhouses of the myriad clans instinctively believed that they could do the same, so they didn't plan to let Lin Yuan bring out the exotic objects. Actually, there was no need for the Taiyang divine spirit to rush. A thought occurred to Lin Yuan. He suddenly remembered he had another identity, that of the master of the Xianhuang secret realm. The Xianhuang secret realm, founded by Xianhuang, is rooted in this universe. As its master, Lin Yuan could directly enter the Xianhuang secret realm with the assistance of the Xianhuang seal, as long as he was within this universe. Then, through the transfer of the Xianhuang secret realm, he could return to the Milky Way star region. Within the territory of the Star Alliance, the traveling Lin Yuan stopped, then activated the Xianhuang seal deep within his soul, and his figure quickly vanished, getting pulled into the Xianhuang secret realm. Search the novel Fire Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 769 Inventory Gains, subscribe requested, _2-inch master, the six-armed silhouette stood respectfully, bowing to Lin Yuan. As the spirit of the Xianhuang secret realm, it could sense every change within the secret realm. Naturally, it was aware of Lin Yuan's entrance. You may leave now. Lin Yuan glanced at the six-armed silhouette and gave the order. Yes. The six-armed silhouette respectfully withdrew. Now it's safe. Lin Yuan's mind relaxed. Despite being on the Milky Way main star, he was not entirely safe, carrying many extraordinary items. However, in the Xianhuang secret realm, there was no danger at all. Let's take a look at this silver mirror. Lin Yuan directly took out the silver mirror. Buzz. Freed from the constraints of the two-dimensional world, the silver mirror seemed to awaken, emitting vast spatial fluctuations, like a small universe being opened up. As the lord of the Xianhuang secret realm, though, Lin Yuan, who could mobilize the entire realm's power, didn't feel any pressure. After bringing it out, do I need to refine it to reopen the space it contains? Lin Yuan appeared contemplative. In the main universe, the might of the silver mirror, an ultimate weapon, was reviving. Refining it was necessary to utilize it even at a basic level. Of course, refining the silver mirror wasn't difficult for Lin Yuan. Back in the two-dimensional world, Lin Yuan had already poured a massive amount of mental energy into it, tantamount to half refining it. Continuing to refine it now was merely the natural course of things, a task he could complete in 1 or 2 months at most. Of course, it was just the refining part. To fully unleash this ultimate weapon and bring its power back to life, Lin Yuan at his current level couldn't manage. Only after reaching tier 11 and undergoing a vast and transformative enhancement of his strength would it be possible. In human civilization's history, occasionally, powerful evolvers wielding ultimate weapons would venture into medium and small-sized otherworldly battlefields, creating permanent spatial rifts. In fact, it was supreme beings behind the scenes driving the ultimate weapons, not ordinary 11th rank evolvers. Even if they exhausted all their strength, they couldn't deal a 12th rank level blow with an ultimate weapon. During the period of refining the silver mirror, Lin Yuan took out 5 radiant orbs of light. These were Lin Yuan's rewards as the victor. As for those extraordinary items, they were things Lin Yuan had painstakingly searched for in the two-dimensional world and didn't count as rewards. Among the 5 radiant orbs, one had a pure aura, precisely representing the spatiotemporal understanding of the myriad tribes' powerhouses. As for the other 4 orbs, they seemed slightly turbid. Let's check this orb. Lin Yuan randomly selected one of the 4 orbs and cautiously probed into it with his mind. In an instant, Lin Yuan's consciousness began to roar. This? Lin Yuan was astounded. He had become a mammoth flame giant, incredibly lofty, millions of kilometers tall, currently lying asleep in an immense sea of magma. Is this the turbid Fire King? An 11th rank complete legendary life. Lin Yuan immediately recognized the other based on the features of the flame giant. The turbid Fire King, a skinny old man who during the first opening of the Heaven's Gate, had teamed up with 4 other 11th rank complete legendary strength individuals, attempting to besiege the 4 divine kings. In the two-dimensional world, the turbid Fire King had a thin build, but in the main universe, he was a unique life form, only slightly inferior to the 4 divine kings and mother of the tree realm. Otherwise, he wouldn't have tried to besiege the divine kings. It's too incredible, Lin Yuan felt every aspect of the flame giant's body vividly, the minutiae of its physical structure, the numerous innate abilities it possessed. Even the profound laws involved in the flame giant's mere breath captivated Lin Yuan. Is this what makes a unique life form unparalleled? Lin Yuan withdrew his mind from the orb, his eyes filled with awe. Compared to humans, unique life forms were too powerful, especially the unparalleled ones like the flame giant, born at 6th rank, who could grow to 9th or 10th rank by merely taking a nap, reaching 11th rank effortlessly. Sir the Oval Fire. Ed website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Among the Starry Sky races, even those with peak lineage like the Starry Sky Wanderer Kuan were only 6th rank as adults. To advance to 7th and 8th rank, they had to rely on their own efforts. The majority of Starry Sky Wanderer Kuan couldn't reach 8th rank. But a unique life form, unparalleled and singular. They were the favored children of the universe, naturally achieving peak levels of life without investing much effort. Of course, it is precisely this smooth sailing that makes the chances of unique life forms reaching ultimacy very slim. To become a supreme being, reliance on innate talent is insufficient. In the current universe, the majority of the ultimate beings were those who grew from weak life forms. Continue. After some thought, Lin Yuan sent a portion of his mind into another orb. Thunder rolled. This time, Lin Yuan transformed into a member of the silver-armored gold-horned alien race, engaged in battle with a mighty life form. Thunder rolled. Space continuously collapsed. The various rule insights revealed by the silver-armored gold-horned alien race during the battle all surged into Lin Yuan's mind. Material rules. This silver-armored gold-horned alien has high mastery of the Great Destruction rule, Lin Yuan thought to himself, and his physical body, while not on par with the turbid Fire King, is also extremely extraordinary in some aspects. Lin Yuan deeply explored the insights. The 4 luminous orbs given by the half-meter-high elder hadn't been specifically refined and purified. They could not bring the direct understanding as probing the orb with the spatio-temporal fusion rule had done. But for Lin Yuan, there was no difference. With his against heaven's understanding, countless flashes of spiritual light emerged in his mind. The 10th stage Martial Tao chapter, now have a direction, search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 770 Inventory Gains, subscribe requested, _3 Observing every aspect of the myriad tribes' powerhouses, Lin Yuan had developed a concrete approach to the opening of the 10th stage Martial Tao chapter. Physical body. Soul. Lin Yuan's eyes shone brightly. The physical body and soul were the foundations of the martial path evolutionary path. Starting from the 4th rank 5th stage section, Lin Yuan's open martial path evolutionary path had focused on the understanding of rules and the development of the inner world. But by the 10th rank chapter, Lin Yuan's attention returned to the physical body and soul. With many special life forms among the myriad tribes' powerhouses as references, Lin Yuan gained a whole new level of understanding concerning the minute structure of the physical body and the essence of the soul. In terms of foundational aspects, human civilization indeed fell far short in comparison to those special life forms with profound heritages. Starting behind didn't mean always being behind. Lin Yuan's newly developed 10th stage Martial Tao chapter was rapidly absorbing the strengths of these special life forms. Theoretically, if the 10th ranked chapter opened up by Lin Yuan was cultivated by future martial arts evolutionaries, they would be no weaker than those special life forms in all aspects. Lin Yuan's observation of the myriad tribes' powerhouses in terms of their physical bodies, souls, and understanding of rules, even memories, was not only a great help in perfecting the 10th stage Martial Tao chapter. It was also incredibly beneficial for himself. Lin Yuan's physical body slowly evolved towards the utmost level of perfection, and the understanding of many rules, especially the pillar-level fusion rules, was rapidly improving. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, 2 months had passed. Lin Yuan's expression shifted as he looked towards a floating silver mirror nearby. Finally, the initial refining is successful, Lin Yuan nodded slightly. This supreme weapon, the silver mirror, had no owner from the start. Moreover, Lin Yuan infused it with his mental power continuously in the two-dimensional world. From the time he began until now with the initial refining success, he had encountered virtually no setbacks or obstructions. After the initial refining of the silver mirror, Lin Yuan's consciousness entered the world contained within it. Boom boom boom. Within the two-dimensional world, the interior world of the silver mirror was nothing more than a cramped space of 10 square meters. But at this moment, as Lin Yuan's consciousness merged with it, he was immediately stunned. A world vast and boundless presented itself before Lin Yuan. The size of this space is at least 10,000 light-years in diameter, isn't it? Lin Yuan muttered to himself, but by size, the inner universe of a supreme being seemed to be about the same size. Such a massive world, once fully activated, would be no less than a supreme being making a full-powered effort, Lin Yuan thought silently to himself. However, to fully activate the silver mirror, one would have to be a supreme being. Even if Lin Yuan stepped into Tier 11, he would at best barely activate it, let alone fully activate it. Probably far from it. Let's check the other exotic treasures. Lin Yuan followed his senses to a vast stone platform. A variety of exotic treasures were placed there. Upon a closer count, the total number of exotic treasures exceeded 100. As he left the two-dimensional world, the silver mirror began to revive, and these exotic treasures gradually recovered as well. If this were not in the world inside the silver mirror but in the main universe, the fluctuations emitted by these more than 100 exotic treasures would likely affect tens to hundreds of thousands of light years. 11 of these exotic treasures belonged to human civilization, Lin Yuan identified, selecting them from over 100 items. During 10,000 years in the two-dimensional world, Xianyuan Dua and many other human civilization evolutionaries have been continuously searching for many rare treasures, handing over a total of 22 to Lin Yuan. According to the agreement between Lin Yuan and the Xia Qin Supreme Being, Lin Yuan could keep half of these 22 treasures after taking them out. So many exotic treasures, Lin Yuan looked at the nearly 100 remaining treasures with exhilaration. Even ultimate beings would probably be green with envy at the sight of so many exotic treasures. Stay calm, stay calm. Lin Yuan composed himself. These treasures were precious, but their practical use to him at the moment was limited. After all, the life level of Lin Yuan was still too low to fully utilize these treasures. Take it slow. Lin Yuan carefully transferred the 11 exotic treasures of human civilization into his inner world. No problem. Lin Yuan nodded slightly. The 11 exotic treasures, 11 12-star strange treasures, their power completely contained, were floating quietly in his inner world. I'll take these treasures to Xia Qin Supreme Being. Lin Yuan placed these 11 treasures separately within his inner world, while the silver mirror and many other treasures were stored in the Xianhuang secret realm. After doing all this, the Taiyang divine spirit left the Xianhuang secret realm. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan was seated cross-legged when a figure silently appeared before him. It was none other than the Taiyang divine spirit. You're back. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. The feather butterfly supreme being has been waiting for me for some time now. Lin Yuan's heart stirred as the Taiyang divine spirit left the Milky Way main star, heading towards a patch of starry sky. Days before, an incarnation of the feather butterfly supreme being had appeared outside the Milky Way main star, ensuring that nothing untoward befell Lin Yuan. After all, Lin Yuan was the only survivor from the white paper of all the myriad tribes' powerhouses. Although other different species weren't aware of this, human civilization had to be cautious. Thank you, Feather Butterfly Supreme Being. Lin Yuan's Taiyang divine spirit flew out and bowed slightly to the ethereal figure in the starry sky. No trouble at all, said the Feather Butterfly Supreme Being with a smile, her voice soft. Shall I take you to our human civilization's third stronghold? The other Supreme Beings want to meet you. The Supreme Beings. Lin Yuan looked slightly puzzled. Yes, Xia Qin and the other 7 all want to meet you. The Feather Butterfly Supreme Being looked at Lin Yuan. 8 Supreme Beings. Lin Yuan held his breath. If you add the Feather Butterfly Supreme Being in front of him, that would be 9 Supreme Beings. 9 Supreme Beings of human civilization showing up just to meet him. Sir, the novel_fire. Ed website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Such an event was rare. Unless faced with a crisis of survival, human civilization's 9 supreme beings seldom gathered together as most of them had their endeavors to pursue. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 771 The Confusion of the 9 Supreme Beings. Please subscribe. There's no need to worry or fear, they just want to see you, said the Feather Butterfly Supreme Being softly. In the two-dimensional world, Lin Yuan swept through the different species in all directions, overwhelming and crushing special beings such as the 4 Divine Kings and other level 11 perfect legendary lives, shocking even the Supreme Beings. Thus, aside from Xia Qin Supreme Being, the other Supreme Beings were also alerted and developed a strong curiosity about Lin Yuan. Alright, Lin Yuan nodded. This was a good opportunity to deliver the 11 strange items. These 11 strange items were treasures that people like Xianyuan Dua and other human civilization evolvers had obtained through more than 10,000 years of immense hardship and even deadly battles with powerhouses of myriad tribes. Lin Yuan taking 50% was already more than enough, and he naturally would not embezzle. For Lin Yuan, acquiring these strange items was incredibly effortless, a testament to his absolute strength. For human civilization and other 11th rank evolvers, acquiring these strange items, especially in the later stages, was only possible through competition with powerhouses of myriad tribes, a difficulty that is imaginable. Stand behind me. After looking at Lin Yuan, the Feather Butterfly Supreme Being initiated changes in the surrounding spacetime. I can feel the distance between me and my true self stretching to countless light years in an instant. Lin Yuan's heart was turbulent, recognizing that the Feather Butterfly Supreme Being in front of him was not the true body, but rather an insignificant incarnation. Very soon, Lin Yuan followed the Feather Butterfly Supreme Being to a grand palace. This is the number 3 stronghold of our human civilization, Feather Butterfly Supreme Being stopped and explained with a smile. The number 3 stronghold was where the 9 Supreme Beings usually met. After the creation of the virtual world by human civilization, the number 3 stronghold was seldom used, as the Supreme Beings mostly gathered in the virtual world, which was more convenient and simple. Lin Yuan nodded solemnly. This palace exerted a great pressure on him, it was at least a supreme weapon, and a very powerful one at that. Among the more than 100 strange items obtained in the two-dimensional world, none could surpass this palace in terms of oppressive force. Following behind the Feather Butterfly Supreme Being, Lin Yuan entered the palace. Deep inside the palace, 9 enormous thrones were occupied by 9 majestic figures. Upon arrival, the form of Feather Butterfly Supreme Being quickly dissipated. Greetings to the 9 Supreme Beings, Lin Yuan immediately bowed to show his respect. Lin Yuan held great respect for the Supreme Beings in his heart because, for the Supreme Beings, protecting human civilization was completely altruistic. In the battlefields of different races, human civilization's 6th rank, 9th rank, 10th rank, and 11th rank evolvers fight fiercely with the different species, which although is deemed as duty, also allows them to gain substantial benefits and rewards. The merit point system devised by human civilization rewards those who contribute with many benefits and privileges. This has led to the dazzling state of human civilization today. A balance between input and output. But what about the supreme beings? They protect human civilization, devoting a great deal of time and energy. What do they gain from it? Essentially nothing. Such formidable physical strength, one of the supreme beings, the ancient power supreme being, stared at Lin Yuan and murmured. As the ultimate existence in the path of strength evolution, the ancient power supreme being's greatest asset was physical strength, adhering to the belief that strength breaks all laws. Upon hearing this, Lin Yuan listened obediently. His physical body naturally far surpassed that of other 10th rank evolvers. The path of martial Tao was skilled in physical body strength, and with the enhancement from the mysterious gourd, his physical strength was 23 times that of the baseline. Additionally, cultivating the body of Xianhuang significantly increased physical strength, as well as enduring the infusion from the chaos void origin upon breaking through to the 10th rank. Under the influence of many factors, Lin Yuan's physical body had reached an inconceivably powerful level. Relying solely on physical strength, he could probably challenge an ordinary 11th rank evolver. This was only the physical body of Lin Yuan's Taiyang divine spirit. His true body was even stronger. Physical strength is insignificant compared to the comprehension of rules. Another supreme being on a distant throne, the void god supreme being, slowly said. The ancient power supreme being glanced at the void god supreme being. The void god supreme being, who mastered the space great Tao, was definitely one of the trickiest among the 9 supreme beings of human civilization because it was impossible to locate his true body. Without a physical body, how can there be any comprehension of rules? Another supreme being spoke up, showing a kind smile to Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan, Xia Qin supreme being said from his throne, we are very pleased with your performance in the two-dimensional world. CTH Novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Thank you, Supreme Being, Lin Yuan immediately replied. To satisfy 1 or 2 Supreme Beings was already very difficult, but to satisfy all 9? At least since the beginning of the Starry Sea era, it had never happened. Supreme Beings, here are the 11 strange items. Lin Yuan's thoughts stirred slightly, and 11 strange objects appeared in front of him. Among these 11 objects, 8 were 12-star strange material ingredients and 3 were supreme weapons, 2 of which were attack type and 1 was defense type. They're all fairly decent. The 9 supreme beings seated on the throne glanced at them and nodded slightly. To them, these strange objects were not very effective, but they could at least enhance the foundation of human civilization. Moreover, since Xianyuan Dua and other Tier 11 evolvers had perished within the two-dimensional world, these were items they sought for him. Though their usefulness was not as great as Lin Yuan's, they still served to somewhat compensate for what was lacking. Lin Yuan, if you have any strange objects that you don't need, you can exchange them for merit points at any time and then trade them in the treasury of human civilization for 12-star strange treasures that can be of help to you, Xia Qin Supreme Being reminded him. This time in the two-dimensional world, only Lin Yuan had successfully made it out alive. Considering the size of the hall, it was definitely the largest for Lin Yuan. With Lin Yuan's strength that swept through the two-dimensional world, he definitely obtained a batch of strange objects, in addition to the 11 distributed to him. Xia Qin Supreme Being estimated that Lin Yuan had probably more than 30 strange objects in his possession. Xia Qin Supreme Being wasn't interested in the strange objects Lin Yuan held, as they were obtained through his own strength and skill, but not all the strange objects were useful to him. The human civilization's treasury also recorded a batch of 12-star strange treasure weapons, with a rich variety, which could only be exchanged with merit points. Lin Yuan could completely choose those suitable for himself. All right. Lin Yuan nodded. Among the nearly 100 strange objects obtained from the two-dimensional world, most were not useful to him. Instead of keeping them, it was better to exchange them for treasures and rarities that could benefit him. After all, human civilization would not let him suffer a loss. I will take these 11 strange objects, then. Xia Qin Supreme Being waved his hand, and the 11 strange objects before Lin Yuan disappeared. I have asked you to come here because we plan to join hands and take you to the banks of the river of time once more, to improve your understanding of the rule of time and deepen your understanding of the fusion of time and space, striving for you to comprehend the spatio-temporal fusion rule sooner. Xia Qin Supreme Being continued to speak. Lin Yuan had long penetrated the rule of time, but like the space rules, what is called a thorough understanding of the rule of time, was only understanding one aspect of the rule of time. To finally comprehend the spatio-temporal fusion rule, he still needed to continuously contemplate the rule of time. With Xia Qin Supreme Being's power alone, Lin Yuan could be liberated from the river of time for dozens of breaths. If the power of the 9 Supreme Beings were pooled, the time away from the river of time would naturally be even longer. Such assistance would be significantly more substantial towards Lin Yuan's meditation on the rule of time. Of course, when the 9 Supreme Beings join forces to forcibly liberate a life from the river of time, there will definitely be a backlash from the river of time and the entire universe. But considering the significant contributions Lin Yuan made in the two-dimensional world, even though they had already distributed the 11 strange objects, Xia Qin Supreme Being and other Supreme Beings felt they should compensate Lin Yuan further. As for the backlash, as long as the timing was well managed and considering Lin Yuan was just a 10th rank life, they could bear the cost. Head to the banks of the river of time. Lin Yuan's expression showed slight hesitation. Being at the banks of the river of time, overseeing the entire river of time, is an unprecedented great fortune for most lives. But for Lin Yuan, he had already reached a pinnacle in his comprehension of the rule of time. Even if he were on the banks of the river of time again, it wouldn't be very beneficial. After all, as a 10th rank life, how far could he see in a brief visit to the banks? From an efficiency perspective, it was far less beneficial compared to absorbing the orb containing the comprehension of the spatio-temporal fusion rule by the powerhouses of myriad tribes. The most critical issue was Xia Qin Supreme Being likely underestimated the difficulty of taking Lin Yuan out of the river of time again. Similar to resurrecting past deceased lives, the stronger the life resurrected, the greater the backlash cost borne by the Supreme Beings. Resurrecting a 6th rank life compared to an 11th rank life, the costs are naturally different. And fishing different levels of life out of the river of time to bring them to the banks also varies. Within the river of time, countless lives, based on the height of their own nature, show different body weights. Undoubtedly, the higher the essence of life, the heavier the body weight. 10th rank lives in the river of time are considered small fishes, while 11th rank lives qualify as big fish. As for Lin Yuan, even before falling into the two-dimensional world, he had already matched the strength of an 11th rank life, qualifying as a big fish. Now, having experienced the trip to the two-dimensional world and comprehended the spatio-temporal fusion rule, with his inner world transformed, even in the river of time, he would be considered a massive entity. Occupying a 10th to a 5th of the riverbed, he belonged to the strongest level just under those 11th rank complete legendary lives. Xia Qin Supreme Being thought Lin Yuan was only a 10th rank life, at most close to an 11th rank life, so he assuredly believed he could easily take Lin Yuan to the banks of the river of time again. However, the actual truth was probably different from what Xia Qin Supreme Being imagined. What is it? Xia Qin Supreme Being noticed Lin Yuan's hesitation, his eyebrows slightly raised. Supreme Being, could I perhaps change my reward? Lin Yuan pondered for a while before speaking. Change the reward. Xia Qin Supreme Being looked at Lin Yuan, his expression slightly puzzled. What reward could be more important than observing the river of time? What reward could be more crucial than taking a further step towards comprehending the spatio-temporal fusion rule? Actually, I have already comprehended the spatio-temporal fusion rule. Lin Yuan thought for a moment and decided to be honest, otherwise, he didn't know how to refuse Xia Qin Supreme Being's enthusiastic offer. You have comprehended the spatio-temporal fusion rule. Xia Qin Supreme Being fell silent, glancing at the other 8 Supreme Beings around him, his eyes showing a hint of confusion. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 772 10th Stage Martial Tao Chapter. Please subscribe, CTH Novelier. N.E.T. website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. On the 9 Grand Thrones, the 9 Supreme Beings looked at Lin Yuan, their expressions unusually displaying astonishment. He figured out the spatio-temporal fusion rule. Lin Yuan figured out the spatio-temporal fusion rule. With the talent Lin Yuan had shown, he had thoroughly understood the rule of time by the 9th rank. The Xia Qin Supreme Being and other Supreme Beings did not doubt that Lin Yuan could figure out the spatio-temporal fusion rule. For most 11th rank evolvers, it would take billions of years to attempt what Lin Yuan, as one of humanity's strongest prodigies, would not consider a significant bottleneck or restraint. The Supreme Beings had hoped Lin Yuan would reach the ultimate, standing alongside them as a colossal pillar of human civilization. But the 9 Supreme Beings had never expected Lin Yuan to figure out the spatio-temporal fusion rule so quickly. Too quickly. So quickly that the Supreme Beings had not anticipated it at all. When Lin Yuan had thoroughly understood the rule of time, Xia Qin Supreme Being had even given him a push, taking him to the shore of the river of time to observe its entirety. Now, he had figured out the spatio-temporal fusion rule all on his own. And how long had Lin Yuan been at the 10th stage? Although he had spent over 10,000 years in the two-dimensional world, it was a lower-dimensional world devoid of any rule fluctuations, completely unsuitable for perceiving the rules of time and space. You really figured out the spatio-temporal fusion rule? The Void God Supreme Being was somewhat surprised and couldn't help but ask. Time and space themselves are the highest pillars of rules, and Void God Supreme Being specializes in space, also boasting considerable expertise in time. By luck, with a slight movement of his thoughts, Lin Yuan invoked the fusion of the power of space-time. Compared to the explosive growth of physical soul, discerning the subtleties of rule perception, unless actively demonstrated, is hard for outsiders to precisely identify. It truly is the spatio-temporal fusion rule. With just one look, the 9 Supreme Beings confirmed that Lin Yuan had fully mastered the spatio-temporal fusion rule. Xia Qin Supreme Being felt quite helpless, as he had intended to offer Lin Yuan some insights into figuring out the spatio-temporal fusion rule, but now, it seemed entirely unnecessary. Since you've already figured out the spatio-temporal fusion rule, there really is no need to go and view the entirety of the river of time. Feather Butterfly Supreme Being slowly said. Viewing the entire river of time only aids in grasping the rule of time and figuring out the spatio-temporal fusion rule. As for more, the effects are not as great as one might imagine. After figuring out the spatio-temporal fusion rule, further cultivation relies on oneself, and external influences are very limited. With your current life level, figuring out the spatio-temporal fusion rule is indeed rare, but you must not be complacent or overconfident. If you want to reach the peak, figuring out the spatio-temporal fusion rule is only the beginning. You need to continuously grasp it, elevating it to the 2nd realm, 3rd realm, and even 5th realm. Xia Qin Supreme Being wasn't sure what more to say, so he offered standard advice. To challenge the ultimate, the prerequisite is to comprehend the spatio-temporal fusion rule up to the 5th realm. The time and effort it takes to go from the 1st realm to the 5th realm are hard to estimate. Xia Qin Supreme Being's words caused a subtle shift in the thoughts of the other 8 Supreme Beings. He reached the 10th stage and figured out the spatio-temporal fusion rule, and yet he should not be overconfident. What did that make them? Including Xia Qin Supreme Being, none of the 9 Supreme Beings had figured out the spatio-temporal fusion rule at the 10th stage. Understood. Lin Yuan nodded in agreement. Xia Qin Supreme Being was right, figuring out the spatio-temporal fusion rule was just the beginning. The real challenges were progressing from the second to the fifth realm. Many ancient starry sky deities who had lived for unknown eons were stuck at this level. But what the 9 supreme beings on the field did not know was that Lin Yuan had the myriad tribes' powerhouses' insights into the spatio-temporal fusion rule. Reaching the fifth realm in this fusion rule was not difficult for him, and it wouldn't even take much time. He could progress gradually. Lin Yuan's true target was the spacetime fusion rule's sixfold realm. Only the 12th rank ultimate realm would hold real significance for him. It seems you really don't need to go to the shore anymore. But the two-dimensional world was beneficial. What reward do you want? The ancient power supreme being asked. The treasury of human civilization includes many treasures and rare items, some of which are of the 12-star level. I'll leave it to the supreme beings to decide. Lin Yuan immediately responded. He did not know what to choose, but as ultimate beings, the supreme beings would surely not make a poor decision. We decide. The ancient power supreme being and the other 8 supreme beings exchanged glances. Lin Yuan knew that the 9 supreme beings must have been communicating secretly among themselves. A moment later, Xia Qin supreme being spoke, his expression somewhat solemn. Although you're only at the 10th rank now, you should also consider the challenge to reach the ultimate. This rare treasure should suit you. With a wave of his right hand, a hazy universe appeared before him, which then began to infinitely contract, transforming into a bead and flying towards Lin Yuan. Whoosh! As the bead slowly floated, Lin Yuan's expression shifted slightly. He felt as if he were in front of a vast universe. Is this a microstar universe? No, it's more real than a miniature universe. Among the many treasures and rare items Lin Yuan had seen, only the miniature universe closely resembled this bead. But it was only similar. Although the miniature universe had a complete set of space-time rules operating, it was ultimately inanimate, but this bead seemed to be alive. This rare treasure, called Source of the Universe, can aid your inner world in its metamorphosis into an inner universe. Xia Qin Supreme Being explained the use of the bead. Aid in metamorphosing the inner world into an inner universe? Lin Yuan took a deep breath. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 773 10th Stage Martial Tao Chapter, Subscribe Request, _2 Upon reaching the ultimate, the inner world would transform towards an inner universe, but the leap from a world to a universe. Such a span is akin to going from 1 to 10,000, 100,000, a million. This bead could assist the inner world in transforming into an inner universe, thus acting as a treasure beneficial for reaching the ultimate, enough to drive the ancient gods at the peak of 11th rank in the deep cosmic starry skies insane. This is too valuable. Lin Yuan, despite possessing numerous 12-star strange treasure weapons, recognized that these were merely external objects. Only by stepping into the 12th rank level oneself was the essence. It's not a matter of being valuable or not. Xia Qin Supreme Being shook his head and said, take it. Yes. Lin Yuan immediately stowed away the source of the universe. All right. Let Yudi send you back. Xia Qin Supreme Being looked at Lin Yuan. This number 3 stronghold of human civilization was surrounded by a spatial-temporal maze. Lin Yuan himself couldn't leave on his own. As Lin Yuan left, the 9 supreme beings on the field looked at each other once more. Xia Qin, how exactly did you find this kid? His talent is too terrifying, figuring out the fusion rules of time and space at just the 10th stage. To be honest, I feel like with another retreat, that kid will reach the ultimate. The supreme beings conversed in low voices, their tones filled with awe. Outside the Milky Way main star, Lin Yuan's Taiyang divine spirit appeared silently. Back already? Lin Yuan glanced around, his expression thoughtful. I can sense it, the coordinates of the 3rd stronghold, located deep within layers of space, similar to the Xianhuang secret realm, but not as completely hidden as the Xianhuang's secret realm. Forget it. I don't want to think about these anymore. Lin Yuan's figure disappeared, reappearing inside the Star-Lord's great hole. Whoosh! The source of the universe flew out, hovering in front of his true self. Since the source of the universe could aid the inner world in transforming towards an inner universe, it was naturally prioritized for use by the true self. As for the two great divine spirits of Taiyin and Taiyang, as long as Lin Yuan could step into the ultimate, the two divine spirits would naturally be able to transform successively, and the inner world would likewise evolve into an inner universe. The source of the universe. Lin Yuan carefully observed the bead in front of him. In the presence of the Supreme Being, Lin Yuan did not examine it closely. But now, there was no need for that. According to Xia Qin's Supreme Being's method, the use of the source of the universe only requires bringing it into the inner world, then contacting it with the world's power. Lin Yuan immediately began to try. Rustle rustle. Lin Yuan's will descended upon the inner world, accompanied by the source of the universe. My inner world. Lin Yuan briefly scanned it, the vast inner world thriving, at the center, an immense ancient tree towering, swaying slightly, exuding a unique aura, stabilizing everything within the inner world. It was the World Tree. As a 12-star exotic treasure, the World Tree had a stabilizing effect on the inner world. To some extent, the World Tree also benefited the transformation of the inner world towards an inner universe, though slight and hard to notice. In a few centuries, my World Tree should be able to bear world fruits. Lin Yuan looked around. Normally, a world tree would take at least 1 million to 10 million years from rooting to fruit-bearing. But alas, the foundation of Lin Yuan's inner world was too strong, allowing the world tree to complete several million to tens of millions of years of growth in just 200 years. Let's begin. Lin Yuan gathered his thoughts and began to manipulate the power of the world to contact the source of the universe in front of him. The moment the power of the world touched the source of the universe, a series of scenes emerged in Lin Yuan's consciousness. Those were various cosmic scenarios from the beginning of the universe. Boom boom boom. The fist-sized source of the universe suddenly exploded, turning into countless fine powders, reforming into a scene of cosmic starry skies, gradually merging into Lin Yuan's inner world. As the creator of the inner world, Lin Yuan naturally sensed the changes in his inner world firsthand. The formerly vast inner world suddenly became ancient and profound, as if it had experienced endless years, spanning from the beginning of the universe to the present. Is this the essence of time? Lin Yuan was inexplicably shocked in his heart. The size of the inner world and the depth of its spatial layers only represented spatial essence. But now, Lin Yuan distinctly felt a change and significant enhancement in the temporal essence of the inner world, as if it had existed for a long time. For the inner world to transform into an inner universe, relying merely on spatial essence was insufficient. Temporal essence was equally indispensable. In terms of spatial essence, Lin Yuan's inner world was perhaps not even comparable to an 11th-rank powerhouse, but in terms of temporal essence, it was slightly ordinary, and this could potentially become a fatal flaw when reaching for the ultimate. But now, with the infusion of the source of the universe, Lin Yuan's inner world's temporal essence was also replenished, integrating time and space as one. Sir the Nulfer. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The Supreme Beings must have seen that my cultivation time was too short, lacking in temporal essence, thus they gave me this source of the universe. Lin Yuan was profoundly grateful in his heart, as the source of the universe was immensely helpful to him. With the depth of space I now possess, and the length of time, when I challenge Tier 11 and endure the Chaos Void Origin infusion again, perhaps I could bring my inner world close to the level of an inner universe. Lin Yuan secretly thought. Xia Qin's Supreme Being granted the source of the universe, making up for Lin Yuan's lack of temporal essence, but the Supreme Being certainly did not expect that Lin Yuan's inner world, in spatial essence, was already terrifyingly high. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 774 10th Stage Martial Tao Chapter, Subscribe Request, _3 And now, the inner world inside him was still not Lin Yuan's limit, the fusion of time and space rules were merely at the first realm. Once it reached the fifth realm, the inner world would become even more perfect and complete. Xianhuang's secret realm. The Taiyang divine spirit sat cross-legged. In front of him lay item after item of exotic treasures, those being the 12-star strange treasures weapons. These exotic treasure weapons that are of no use to me could be broken down back into primal force to nourish the origin clock or simply serve as nourishment for my cultivation of the Xianhuang physique. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Supreme weapons were indeed powerful, but not every one of them was suitable for Lin Yuan. If one were to discuss compatibility, no weapon could compare to the origin clock. This weapon, made of origin fine gold, had always been nurtured by Lin Yuan and naturally was a perfect fit for him. The only drawback was that, compared with the supreme weapons, the origin clock was slightly lesser in rank, but the impact was not significant. Lin Yuan had mastered primal force and could revert all things back into the most fundamental pure power. Eventually, he would continue to slowly nurture the origin clock, aiming to cultivate it into a supreme weapon. Of course, such a task could only be hoped for when Lin Yuan reached Tier 11. How extraordinary were the 12-star strange treasures. They couldn't just be reverted on a whim. Milky Way main star. After continuing to observe the changes in his inner world, Lin Yuan once again took out the enlightenment light sphere of rules and immersed himself in cultivation. Besides normally understanding rules, Lin Yuan was also slowly perfecting the 10th stage martial Tao chapter. The core of the 10th stage martial Tao chapter lies in the physical body, in the soul, in the spirit will, returning to essence and roots. Only with a strong foundation does greater potential emerge. Lin Yuan continually observed one by one the physical souls of those special beings deep in the cosmic starry skies. Normally speaking, special beings were rare, and some unique special beings existed only once in the vast universe. Their mystical physical bodies, the essence of their souls, their innate abilities, even a supreme being could not peer into these aspects. Yet, thanks to 4 spheres of light given to him by the half-meter-tall old man, Lin Yuan could distinctly feel everything about many special beings, immensely propelling the perfection of the 10th stage martial Tao chapter. It is known that each unique special being is a darling of the universe, graced with everything close to the great Tao. Lin Yuan's use of these special beings' physical souls to perfect the 10th stage martial Tao chapter was truly a path with an extremely high limit lifting him to the heavens. Search *the novel fire, any *t website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. It was not a path that led to a dead end or dead alley. It was like standing at the height of the universe and creating and developing an evolution path. Virtual world. Lin Yuan and Nalan comfortably sat together. Beyond his practices, Lin Yuan would also enter the virtual world to relax, albeit just with a sliver of consciousness, not hindering his normal practice of enlightenment. This time the two-dimensional world has fallen, and those different species strong ones suffered, especially the 4 divine kings, even losing the most suitable supreme weapons for themselves in there. Nalan had a somewhat schadenfreude attitude, although his avatar also experienced a fundamental loss by dying in the two-dimensional world. He was compensated to some degree by human civilization afterward. Lin Yuan returned 11 exotic items to the supreme beings, parts of which compensated various human evolvers. After all, many human evolvers also contributed in the search for these exotic items, and naturally, human civilization would not let them be at a loss. Indeed, quite tragic. Lin Yuan nodded. Originally the 4 divine kings were among the first tier of strong ones below the supreme beings. But now, they had lost a weapon perfectly suited to them. Whether it was the Star Alliance, or the human civilization, or the insect race alliance, all had collected a number of supreme weapons. But for life forms below the level of supreme beings, finding a suitable supreme weapon was nothing short of climbing to the heavens. Having lost that supreme weapon, even if the four divine kings received another supreme weapon bestowed by the Star Alliance, they could not return to the peak of their combat power. Moreover, the death of an avatar in the two-dimensional world meant a permanent loss of some of the spirit will. This also had a significant impact on their strength. The two factors combined. Although the four divine kings weren't reduced to mediocrity, they could no longer compare to beings like the Mother of the Tree Realm. Even their time for challenging the ultimate would be indefinitely postponed, but no matter how much it was delayed, the possibility of finally becoming ultimate had decreased. Apart from the four divine kings, many other special beings and different species strong ones also suffered great losses, at least losing part of their spirit will fundamentally. Spirit will, unlike physical body, cannot be improved with the help of rare treasures. To increase the strength of spirit will, one does not know how much effort is needed. Having lost a part permanently, the stronger the being, the heavier the loss. How about those different species strong ones? Unique special beings, how are they, still beaten up by our human Lord Shuayu? In the competition in the two-dimensional world, only Lord Shuayu emerged as the ultimate victor. A smile appeared on Nalan's face. Although, at present, human civilization hasn't publicly announced that Lord Shuayu had successfully exited from the two-dimensional world, even the human civilization's evolvers have guessed that Lord Shuayu must have survived. The different species strong ones also have such speculations, but can only speculate. As a peak clan with 9 supreme beings standing guard, other different species, despite their great losses, dare not do anything against human civilization. Time slowly passed. In a blink, 2.5 years had gone by. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan quietly sat there. What is a physical body? What is a soul? Thoughts surged in Lin Yuan's mind. The mystique of the myriad tribes' powerhouses' bodies, their innate abilities, etc., all converged in Lin Yuan's heart, forming the foundation of the 10th stage martial Tao chapter. One does not know how much time had passed. Lin Yuan slowly opened his eyes, a smile appearing on his face. 10th stage martial Tao chapter, completed. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 775 Human Civilization Part 10, subscribe please. Lin Yuan stepped into the 10th rank not long ago and soon grasped the first pillar-level fusion rule, becoming a grade A tier 10. That is, the 10th rank summit. But it was not until now that he finally carved out a complete 10th stage martial Tao chapter. During this process, he also experienced tens of thousands of years in the two-dimensional world. This shows the difficulty of formulating the 10th stage martial Tao chapter. In fact, with Lin Yuan's Against Heaven's understanding, he had already created hundreds, even thousands of beginnings for the 10th rank chapter. But they were all unsatisfying, as he felt the direction was not quite right. It was only after obtaining everything about the myriad tribes' powerhouses from the half-meter-tall elder inside white paper, that he finally locked down the essence of the 10th rank chapter, taking only 2.5 years to carve it out. The 10th stage martial Tao chapter, in addition to the corresponding understanding of rules, many pillar-level fusion rules, its most core aspect lies in reshaping the physical soul, making it more perfect, closer to those special beings nurtured by the cosmos, thought Lin Yuan to himself. To achieve this, 2 things were necessary: Against Heaven's understanding and various structural diagrams of the physical souls of special beings, including different species. The 2 were indispensable. My physical soul now, as Lin Yuan carefully sensed it over, during the creation of the 10th stage martial Tao chapter, his physical soul had also been evolving towards perfection. Only when the 10th rank chapter was perfectly carved out did Lin Yuan's physical soul transform to the ultimate extreme. At this moment, Lin Yuan's physical soul was mysterious, not inferior to those special beings with powerful talents. He might still not match up to the unique special beings, but the gap was not significant. The reason why special beings have such a low probability of reaching the ultimate is that they are innate powerful, lacking a weak period, and lacking that kind of relentless will. However, their physical souls definitely have something worth learning, Lin Yuan silently pondered. Now the Martial Tao 10th rank chapter draws from the strengths of those special beings. As for their weaknesses, which evolver from human civilization didn't grow from utter weakness to strength? There is no such thing as being innately powerful. Almost there. Lin Yuan repeatedly deliberated and thought over the Martial Tao 10th rank chapter and finally nodded in satisfaction. The 10th rank chapter now truly matched the version he had envisioned. Other evolution path 10th rank chapters emphasized understanding and enlightenment of rules. However, the Martial Path Evolutionary Path's 10th rank chapter returns to the physical soul, showing the path of evolution from the root. Goddess of Wisdom. Lin Yuan immediately connected to the Goddess of Wisdom. Respected scholar Lin Yuan, 8th level citizen, Goddess of Wisdom is pleased to serve you, intoned the Goddess of Wisdom in a grave and cool voice. I wish to upload the Martial Tao 10th rank chapter. Lin Yuan immediately uploaded the Martial Tao 10th rank chapter to the terminal of the Goddess of Wisdom. Virtual World. The Xia Qin Supreme Being and several other Supreme Beings gathered once again. The Martial Tao 10th rank chapter. That youngster created the Martial Tao 10th rank chapter? The Xia Qin Supreme Beings were briefly stunned, then promptly accepted it. Lin Yuan even comprehended the spatiotemporal fusion rule. Creating the Martial Tao 10th rank chapter wasn't so inconceivable. Let me have a look. The Void God Ultimate Being immediately started to peruse it. Nowadays, within human civilization, Lin Yuan's importance is second only to the 9 Supreme Beings. His 10th rank chapter was directly judged by the Supreme Beings. This 10th rank chapter. The Ancient Power Supreme Being was slightly taken aback. As the ultimate existence skilled in the rule of power and specializing in the physical body, the Ancient Power Supreme Being instantly recognized that the Martial Tao 10th rank chapter involved reshaping the physical body. Impressive, indeed. How many special beings did this youngster dissect to have such a profound understanding of the physical body? The Ancient Power Supreme Being wondered more and more inconceivably as he read. High Understanding of Rules by Lin Yuan. He could somewhat force an explanation. After all, many rules pervade the cosmic starry sky, and to those peerless geniuses, they are palpable. But the mysteries of the physical body, especially the mysteries of the physical body in the Martial Tao 10th rank chapter, are all directed towards the Tao of the physical body, the location of the great Tao of the cosmos. Such profound understanding of the physical body should be beyond a youngster like Lin Yuan, right? And the soul, the feather butterfly Supreme Being said with a slightly grave expression. She also noticed the core thread of the 10th rank chapter, which fundamentally lies in the physical soul. Martial arts evolutionaries who practice up to the Martial Tao 10th rank, reaching perfection in the 10th rank layer, will have a much higher possibility of stepping into tier 11 in the future. Even touching the ultimate offers a minuscule benefit, nodded the Xia Qin Supreme Being. Do not underestimate the significance of a transcendent physical soul, especially when striving for the ultimate. A perfected physical soul might not provide great help, but it will at least not be a hindrance. Indeed, it is very good. The Void God Supreme Being nodded slightly, even he saw the rare and valuable aspect of the Martial Tao 10th rank chapter, returning to the physical soul, emphasizing the shaping of the foundation. This 10th rank chapter is worth at least 3 billion merit points. 3 billion merit points. That is somewhat low. I think it is worth at least 4 or 5 billion merit points. Let's say 5 billion. I feel like the exposition on the physical body in the 10th rank chapter could be applied to other evolution paths. The various Supreme Beings conversed with each other and finally rendered a 5 billion merit points valuation. Milky Way main star. As Lin Yuan waited, he once again immersed himself in the practice and enlightenment of the Tao. Just then, respected scholar Lin Yuan, 8th level citizen, your martial Tao 10th rank chapter has been judged, began the solemn and cool voice of the goddess of wisdom. Judged already? Lin Yuan opened his eyes, slightly expectant. The final evaluation result values the 10th stage martial Tao chapter at 50 billion merit points. The voice of the goddess of wisdom rang out. 50 billion merit points. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. He remembered the 9th stage martial Tao chapter was valued at only 2 billion merit points. Those 2 billion merit points even included the results of the bloodline cultivation system. But now, the 10th stage chapter is worth 50 billion straight away. Even though Lin Yuan used nearly 100 exotic treasures, 50 billion merit points was still a huge fortune for him. In the human civilization treasury, the exchange price for 12-star strange treasures starts at 1 billion merit points. 50 billion merit points could exchange for 50 of the lowest value 12-star strange treasures. Right. What's the current ranking of the martial path evolutionary path now? Lin Yuan immediately began to check. After uploading the 9th stage martial Tao chapter, the martial path evolutionary path's ranking was 42nd in the Southern Star region. Being 42nd in the Southern Star region, one of the 5 major star regions of human civilization, would roughly put it in the 300 to 400 rank range of the entire human civilization's evolutionary paths. The rankings of the Southern Star region's evolutionary path. First, Lin Yuan was somewhat surprised as he saw the final ranking. Even though he had anticipated a spike in ranking after uploading the 10th rank chapter, thanks to those 50 billion merit points being there, the higher the evaluation in merit points, it meant that the 3 goddesses and even the supreme beings saw great potential, signifying even greater potential. But Lin Yuan hadn't expected to soar straight to first place in the Southern Star region rankings. This was one of the 5 major star regions, not some star domain or star alliance. The evolutionary paths in the Southern Star region's rankings were primarily 11th rank evolutionary paths, and having the 9th rank martial Tao evolutionary path at 42nd was already incredibly unbelievable. The ranking of human civilization's evolutionary paths, Lin Yuan shifted his gaze to the ranking of the martial path evolutionary path amongst the evolutionary paths of human civilization. The rankings of human civilization's evolutionary paths consist of all evolutionary paths recorded by human civilization, including the rankings of all evolutionary paths as well as the 9 great supreme evolutionary paths. The ranking of human civilization's evolutionary paths is the most prestigious. 10th place, Lin Yuan glanced up at the evolutionary paths now ranked ahead of the martial path evolutionary path. There were only 9. And these 9 evolutionary paths were all supreme evolutionary paths. Has the martial path evolutionary path become the strongest evolutionary path beneath the supreme evolutionary paths? Lin Yuan silently thought to himself. Of course, to say it's the strongest isn't quite accurate. The ranking of human civilization's evolutionary paths is determined by many aspects, including potential, which holds significant weight. But regardless, the martial path evolutionary path has now become the most pinnacle of all the vast and numerous evolutionary paths recorded in human civilization. The rise in the ranking of the martial path evolutionary path swiftly caused a huge stir within the entirety of human civilization. After all, the martial path evolutionary path's latest ranking was 10th in human civilization, overwhelming a host of 11th rank peak evolutionary paths and taking the top spot on the Southern Star region leaderboard, shocking countless evolutionary and high-level citizens. Ranked 10th in human civilization's evolutionary paths. This martial path evolutionary path is too formidable. Just by uploading the 10th rank chapter, it surged from around 3 to 400th place to 10th. I told you guys the future of the martial path evolutionary path was immeasurable, but you wouldn't believe me. Countless evolvers began to discuss fervently, as there hadn't been an evolutionary path that reached the top of a major star region while only at the 10th rank since the beginning of the Starry Sea era. Indeed, the human civilization's evolutionary path rankings emphasize potential as one of the main criteria, but to become a Tier 11 evolutionary path, does it low potential? Thunder Rain Star Region. Lulan He, 1.5 meters tall, suddenly leaped up. I said the Martial Path evolutionary path was quite good. Lulan He was extremely excited. He can be considered a witness to the Martial Path evolutionary path. When the Martial Path evolutionary path was only at the 2nd layer, he took notice of it and began to cultivate it. He even defied his father's will for this. Father, father. Lulan He immediately began to contact his father. Little He. The ethereal figure of Lulan Yu appeared in front of him. Father, have you seen the latest ranking of the Martial Path evolutionary path? Lulan He said excitedly. I have seen it. Sir, the novel Fire. In website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lulan Yu spoke gravely. The hottest topic inside human civilization at the moment was the Martial Path evolutionary path, even the different species were aware of it. Your choice was very good. Lulan Yu looked at his son, keep cultivating on the Martial Path evolutionary path. Because. Lulan Yu said this but did not continue. Because of what? Lulan He asked cheerfully. Because, Lulan Yu looked solemn, his tone tinged with emotion, this could very well be our human civilization's 10th supreme evolutionary path. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 776 9th Level Citizen, please subscribe. The current popularity of the Martial Path evolutionary path has even surpassed the 9 great supreme evolution paths. Sar the novel Fire, any *T website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Several days later, on the Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan casually glanced at the changes in the Martial Path evolutionary path after its update and was amazed. Since the Starry Sea era, the Supreme Evolution Path has always been the most popular evolutionary path in human civilization. It symbolizes the ultimate in a particular evolutionary road, coveted by countless evolvers. For the vast majority of evolvers, if they had a choice, they would definitely prioritize cultivating the Supreme Evolution Path. The only drawback of the Supreme Evolution Path is that its upper limit is locked at Tier 11, with no chance for an ultimate leap. But what of it? Tier 11 is already a goal too lofty for nearly all evolvers to even dream of. Compared to other evolution paths, every realm within the Supreme Evolution Path is extremely well developed and even perfect. In a battle between evolvers of the same rank, under normal circumstances, if all other aspects of their abilities and foundations are equal, the one who cultivates the Supreme Evolution Path will be stronger by quite a few notches. Hence, the popularity of the 9 great Supreme Evolution Paths in human civilization is beyond doubt. However, Lin Yuan could clearly feel now that the frequency of discussions about the Martial Path evolutionary path on the virtual network has surpassed the 9 great Supreme Evolution Paths. This is not to say that the Martial Path evolutionary path has outstripped the Supreme Evolution Path. Rather, in more than 2 million years, no other evolutionary path has managed to reach a level just below the Supreme Evolution Path at the 10th rank. If 10th rank could already overwhelm Tier 11, what would happen when the Martial Path evolutionary path advances to Tier 11? As a result, countless evolvers in human civilization speculate that the Martial Path evolutionary path might possibly become human civilization's 10th Supreme Evolution Path. The 10th Supreme Evolution Path. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly, as he had no certainty of crossing into the ultimate, once failed. Even with the protection of the door to the myriad realms, he didn't know if he would survive. The number of people practicing the martial path evolutionary path has started to surge dramatically in the past few days. Lin Yuan called up the specific data for the martial path evolutionary path and started watching it seriously. First tier chapter, 26 trillion. Second layer chapter, 832 billion. Third rank chapter, 4 billion. Fourth rank chapter, 120 billion. Fifth stage section, 53 million. Sixth rank chapter, 860,000. Seventh rank chapter, 17,000. Eighth layer part, 0. 100 years have passed, and not a single martial arts evolutionary has entered the 8th layer. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Compared to more than 100 years ago, the number of practitioners in the martial path evolutionary path's first-tier chapter to the 4th rank chapter has increased by thousands to tens of thousands of times. The 5th stage section to the 7th rank chapter also increased by several hundred to 1,000-fold. But as for the 8th layer, at least for now, no 8th layer martial path evolutionary has registered their realm. Time is still too short. Lin Yuan shook his head inwardly. The martial path evolutionary path hasn't even been around for 500 years since it was uploaded. Even with enormous potential, it can't be converted immediately into a final number of high-rank evolvers. The evolution of life is a long process, even with a specific evolutionary path to guide it. It seems I still need to spend time creating more video analyses from the 7th rank peak to the 8th layer, Lin Yuan reflected thoughtfully. Although it isn't specified, the higher the number of high-rank evolvers in his evolution path, the better for his ultimate leap. After all, as the progenitor of the martial path evolutionary path, Lin Yuan doesn't have to worry about later martial path evolvers posing a threat to him. In fact, any martial path evolver, regardless of their realm or bloodline, would naturally be suppressed by Lin Yuan. In over 100 years, the revenue from the martial path evolutionary path has already exceeded 600 billion cubic universe crystals. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. Hundreds of years ago, he was worried about a few thousand or tens of thousands of cubic universe crystals. Now, his net worth has skyrocketed to be calculated in billions of cubic universe crystals. But high revenues also mean substantial costs in cultivation. Lin Yuan thought to himself quietly. So far, his main expense in cultivation comes from one of the 3 Tao-protecting secret skills of the profound yellow lineage, the Xianhuang physique. Xianhuang physique itself was a method fleshed out by infinite resources, adding to that Lin Yuan's formidable physical foundation, the enhancement of the mysterious gourd, the boost from the eternal spring, the amplification of martial Tao, the infusion from the chaos void origin, and so on. As a result, even a slight enhancement of Lin Yuan's physical strength requires tremendous sacrifices. And the enhancement of a Xianhuang physique to the body depends on its original strength, leading to the cost of cultivating this secret technique many times exceeding Lin Yuan's expectations. After all, when Lin Yuan first obtained this secret technique, he never anticipated that his physical foundation would be greatly enhanced again under the chaos void origin infusion. I can vaguely sense those life forces cultivating the martial path evolutionary path, as if they're guided by some inexplicable force. Lin Yuan closed his eyes and focused intently. If one were to picture an expanse of darkness surrounding Lin Yuan at the center, then at this moment, numerous points of light like fireflies began to emerge, each one seemingly feeble when seen alone. But in number, they were vast, spreading out as far as the eye could see, like a wildfire spreading through the night. Could these all become the booster for my ultimate leap? Lin Yuan thought to himself. These sparks of light were not limited to the main universe. Some came from distant places too vague to ascertain. They were likely the life forces of martial Tao cultivators who had spread the martial arts to other dimensions during past travels. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 777 9th Level Citizen, subscribe, please, _2 inch spreading one's own evolution path. allowing more beings to cultivate and ultimately nourishing oneself to propel the ultimate leap. Such means are nothing short of incredible. Lin Yuan thought to himself that this kind of nourishment was not the kind that came from the power of faith but rather from the path of evolution, basically without any hidden dangers. I wonder which powerful being created this cultivation method. An existence close to a perfect time being. Lin Yuan was quite curious. In the long-gone cosmic era, there was no talk of spreading one's own evolution path. If you wanted to make the ultimate leap, you essentially had to rely on yourself. Take Emperor Xianhuang for example. He did not spread his evolution path widely because the threshold for the Xianhuang evolutionary path was too high and not suitable for aimless dissemination. It's about time. It's time to advance to a 9th-level citizen. Lin Yuan glanced at the balance of his own merit points, 5,200,000,000. Out of these, 50 billion merit points were the reward he received after uploading the 10th stage Martial Tao chapter. The remaining 2 billion plus merit points were what Lin Yuan had accumulated over time, including what was left from the last time he uploaded the 9th stage Martial Tao chapter. From an 8th level citizen to a 9th level citizen, 10 billion merit points are needed, equivalent to the value of 10 entry-level 12-star rare treasures. After pondering for a moment, Lin Yuan chose to upgrade his citizen level. In the past, every time he advanced his citizen level, he gained far more than the value of the merit points spent on the advancement itself. The higher the citizen level, the more important it was not just the privileges but also the ability to influence some of the decisions of human civilization. Take Lin Yuan, for instance. He was currently the chief speaker of the North Cold Star Alliance, the highest-ranking individual in hundreds, if not thousands, of star domains, and a single thought from him was enough to determine human civilization's policy towards the surrounding different species. The ordinary tribes within the North Cold Star Alliance, the weaker tribes, or even the other different species tribes nearby, all had to rely on Lin Yuan's influence. Goddess of Wisdom. I wish to now advance to a 9th-level citizen. Lin Yuan immediately connected to the Goddess of Wisdom and made a request to upgrade his citizen level. In an instant, Lin Yuan's 5 billion and more merit points were reduced by 10 billion. Soar the Nulfer. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. At the same time, the citizen level section on Lin Yuan's personal information page quietly changed from 8th to 9th level. 9th level citizen. 9th level citizen of human civilization. This was a weight that not just any star domain, even a star alliance, could hardly bear. Even among the many 11th rank evolvers of human civilization, most were not 9th level citizens. Even for powerful 11th rank evolvers, accumulating 10 billion merit points would require a huge sacrifice. The ancient 10th rank evolver from the Xianyuan family, Xianyuan Fan, who had fought for 1 to 2 million years on the battlefields of different species, had only accumulated 20 million merit points at the end. To gain the opportunity to comprehend the mysteries of a black planet, he had to borrow 80 million merit points on behalf of his family from human civilization to make up a total of 1 billion merit points to complete the transaction with Lin Yuan. If someone ancient like Xianyuan Fan had to do this, 11th rank evolvers with more accumulated merit points would not be too far ahead. Moreover, most evolvers cannot resist the temptation to spend some of their merit points during the accumulation process. Just like Xianyuan Fan, who, wanting to increase his chances of advancing to Tier 11, chose to spend the 20 million merit points he had saved up in advance. After all, merit points have too high a value in human civilization, able to exchange for many unimaginably valuable resources and heritages. It is only a very few, like Lin Yuan, who save up every merit point to upgrade their citizen level. Using merit points to advance citizen level is indeed the most valuable approach, but the greatest value does not mean the highest short-term return. Whoosh! Just after Lin Yuan smoothly advanced to a 9th level citizen, a flurry of emails from the central star field of human civilization were all sent over. These emails, aside from congratulating Lin Yuan, were introductions to the many privileges of a 9th level citizen. Privileges for a 9th-level citizen. Lin Yuan browsed through the emails one by one. The first were the standard benefits. One would receive a 9th-rank evolution elixir. Starting from a 6th-level citizen, with each advancement in citizenship level, one would receive a corresponding evolution elixir. Even the lowest 6th-rank evolution elixir, it's a specially allocated resource. Even if you have an abundance of cosmic crystals, you cannot buy it. Only merit points can be used to exchange for one, with a 6th-rank evolution elixir requiring 10,000 merit points. A 7th-rank evolution elixir requires 100,000 merit points. An 8th-rank evolution elixir requires 1,000,000 merit points. A 9th-rank evolution elixir requires 10 million merit points. Furthermore, to exchange for an evolution elixir, you also need to have the corresponding authorization. Lower-level citizens, even if they accumulate enough merit points, cannot make the exchange. The right to participate in the Central Council of Human Civilization. Lin Yuan glanced at the second benefit. The Central Council of Human Civilization is a key meeting that touches on the future direction of the entirety of human civilization, where supreme beings will descend their consciousness to participate, and the 3 goddesses will pay close attention. To be able to participate in such meetings, you need at least a 9th-level citizen status. Not interested. Lin Yuan had no interest in the council. Such a privilege might be invaluable to some citizens adept at maneuvering through politics, but to Lin Yuan, it seemed meaningless. 3 opportunities to immerse in the eternal spring. Lin Yuan's gaze lingered on a particular benefit. The eternal spring, one of the human civilization's 12-star rare treasures, allows any bather to safely extend their lifespan by several 100,000 years. Moreover, during the immersion in the eternal spring, one's physique will undergo slow transformation, improving the potential upper limits. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 778 9th-level citizen, seeking subscriptions, _3 once, a supreme being from a different species was willing to exchange an 11-star top-tier rare treasure for a chance to bathe in the eternal spring, to be used on their clan's younger generation. Human civilization did not agree. An 11-star top-tier rare treasure is worth tens of millions of merit points. It was indeed a very sincere offer. Human civilization refused, not because the 11-star top-tier rare treasure was insufficient, but because there were more considerations. Within human civilization, besides obtaining a chance to bathe upon ascending to 9th rank, if one wanted an additional bath, it would cost 5 million merit points per time. Search *the Nelfer. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Now, ascending to 9th-level citizen, the 3 complementary opportunities to bathe in the eternal spring are equivalent to 15 million merit points. There's a chance to let both primordial spirits take a dip. Lin Yuan thought to himself that such opportunities to enhance the potential of the flesh were rare. There's also the privilege of enjoying the exchange discounts from the human civilization treasury. The discount for exchanging civilization coins and cosmic crystals is 60%. The discount for exchanging merit points is 90%. Lin Yuan was overjoyed. So-called civilization coins and cosmic crystal exchanges are the regular and strategic resource exchanges in the human civilization treasury. They can be obtained through civilization coins and cosmic crystals. When Lin Yuan was an 8th-level citizen, he also enjoyed corresponding discounts, but at that time, it was 80%. Now that he has ascended to a 9th-level citizen, he directly benefits from a 60% exchange rate, a reduction of 20%. No one knows how many cosmic crystals it can help Lin Yuan save. As for the discount on exchanging merit points, every merit point exchange in the human civilization treasury is a limited resource, even not open to outsiders. This includes many 12-star rare treasures, many special heritage sites, and places like the Black Planet that are useful for comprehending and amalgamating rules. Even though the discount on merit points exchange is only 10%, what is being saved is merit points, and the rare treasures that are exchanged are extremely rare in the entire cosmic starry sky. With a 10% discount, as long as I exchange for 100 billion merit points worth of rare treasures, I can make up for the merit points spent on my ascension to a 9th-level citizen in one stroke. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. This was the effect of elevating the level of citizenship. The short-term gain might not be the greatest, but looking at the long term, the benefits were sure to be extensive and profound. The privileges and advantages of ascending to a 9th-level citizen are countless, indeed numbering in the thousands. Lin Yuan briefly went through them, most of which were enhanced versions of those available to 8th-level citizens, and the remaining new privileges were equally helpful to him. At the very least, it could save him from many troublesome periods. Merit points needed to ascend to 10th-level citizen. After looking through many privileges, Lin Yuan looked towards the conditions for ascending to a 10th-level citizen. 50 billion merit points. Lin Yuan's mouth twitched slightly. Such a massive amount of merit points, even if he converted all the strange objects from the two-dimensional world, it would still be far from enough. Now, aside from the 9 supreme beings in human civilization, there probably aren't many citizens who are 10th level or higher, right? Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. Even for an 11th rank evolver, amassing 50 billion merit points was nearly an impossible feat unless one could slaughter their way through a large alien battlefield. It wasn't even worth considering. And slaughter through a large alien battlefield. Even for the 4 divine kings at their peak, it was hard to achieve as supreme beings could enter the fray at any moment. And even if supreme beings didn't intervene, the 11th rank peak powerhouses from the peak clans were not so easy to deal with supreme weapons in hand. If you can't overcome one, you would have to face 5 or 10. In such circumstances, who could withstand that? Nowadays, the 10th-level citizens of human civilization are mostly 11th-rank evolvers from universities, or those human citizens who have made significant contributions during the long dormant years before the Starry Sea era. Purchase resources, and continue cultivating the Xianhuang physique. Lin Yuan opened the human civilization treasury and began selecting his choices. The Xianhuang physique is one of the 3 great Tao-protecting secret skills of the profound yellow lineage, divided into 4 levels: entry, minor achievement, major achievement, and perfection. Of course, these 4 levels are aimed at each rank. When at 9th rank, cultivating the Xianhuang physique to the level of perfection, and then advancing to 10th rank, when the level of life significantly leaps ahead, the Xianhuang physique will fall to major achievement or even minor achievement. Theoretically, if a 12th rank ultimate being can cultivate the Xianhuang physique to perfection at their rank stage, they can easily survive the great cosmic destruction. To know, if a cosmos enters a period of great destruction, and all things collapse, even a supreme being could survive only half or even less. Only supreme beings who have lived through the cosmic great destruction can be considered truly free. Lin Yuan has already cultivated the Xianhuang physique to major achievement, just one step away from perfection. Given Lin Yuan's foundational physical strength, a 10th rank level Xianhuang physique perfected, his physique is already powerful enough to suppress rules, and just with his physical body, he could rival the second-tier 11th rank. It's about time. After selecting for a while, Lin Yuan spent about 200 billion cubic universe crystals, and after the 60% privilege of a 9th-level citizen, he only paid out 120 billion cubic universe crystals. He directly saved 80 billion cubic universe crystals. The cost is really high. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. It's not actually that the Xianhuang physique is expensive. Indeed, the Xianhuang physique demands high resources, but the cost of cultivating the Xianhuang physique at only the 10th rank level, however high it may be, is finite. Mainly because Lin Yuan's foundational physique is too strong, leading to a very high starting point, with the Xianhuang physique enhancing the physical strength tenfold. If the initial physical strength of a normal 10th rank life is 10, a a tenfold increase would be 100. With an initial physical strength of 100, a tenfold increase would be 1000. The resources spent on both are naturally different, and Lin Yuan's initial physical strength is far more than 100, perhaps 10,000, 100,000, 1 million. Therefore, the resources needed to cultivate the Xianhuang physique to the perfection level are naturally millions or even millions of times the normal amount. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 779 Dual Realm of Time-Space Fusion Rules. Subscribe please. The transfer of resources valued at 200 billion cubic universe crystals to Lin Yuan was not a matter of moments. It required mobilization from various major star domains, and considering the vast expanse of the human civilization territory, even continuous wormhole shuttle would take a considerable amount of time. However, Lin Yuan was not in a hurry. The cultivation of body of Xianhuang could be done gradually. Currently, Lin Yuan did not feel the pressing need to cultivate body of Xianhuang to perfection. Virtual world. Lin Yuan was having a casual conversation with his parents. Have you been finding more free time recently? Lu Qiong looked at Lin Yuan and couldn't help but say, you should take seriously what I told you. Lin Yi has great-grandchildren now, and here you are, still single. More than 100 years ago, Lin Yi married Xia Karen from the Xia family of humans. In the second year of their marriage, they had children and now even had great-grandchildren. The reproductive speed of humans was indubitable. If it weren't for the Xia family's strict management of their descendants, they could easily have multiplied to 7 or 8 generations within 100 years. No rush. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. Reproducing offspring is to place one's hopes on the next generations. But Lin Yuan. His hopes and goals didn't need to be entrusted to descendants, he could accomplish them himself. Still not in a hurry. Lu Qiong sighed. They were now evolvers who could easily live for thousands to tens of thousands of years, but this matter had nothing to do with how long one lived. Son, at least have some children and keep us company. Lu Shouqing also spoke, your mom and I are too bored now, having grandchildren would help pass the time. I'll consider it. Lin Yuan nodded. Reproducing offspring does not necessarily require a partner. With the current level of human civilization's technology, external reproduction is completely feasible. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged. In front of him floated a luminous orb, endless insights on the spatio-temporal fusion rules continuously flooding into his mind. Time-space, so this is time-space. Lin Yuan was immersed in comprehension, forgetting the passage of time. Indeed, even if the spatio-temporal fusion rule insights of the myriad tribes' powerhouses were placed before him, most beings would find it tough to fully grasp them. However, Lin Yuan, with his against heaven's understanding, absorbed and comprehended these insights at an astoundingly rapid pace. This was also why the half-meter-tall old man was shocked when Lin Yuan had just started and immediately grasped the spatio-temporal fusion rules. Spatio-temporal fusion rules. Dual realm. Lin Yuan suddenly opened his eyes, his aura transforming. Time-space fusion vaguely formed a spatial-temporal maze around him. Now, with Lin Yuan's understanding of the spatio-temporal fusion rules, other powerhouses who got close would be trapped in the spatial-temporal maze, unable to escape. The spatial-temporal maze was much more terrifying than a mere time prison. 3 years, I finally elevated the spatio-temporal fusion rules to the dual realm. A smile emerged on Lin Yuan's face. Originally, he had spent decades and still failed to comprehend the spatio-temporal fusion rules. Now, with the help of the luminous orb in front of him, his speed of comprehension was incredibly fast. The inner world is also becoming more stable. After reaching the dual realm of the spatio-temporal fusion rules, Lin Yuan faintly felt subtle changes in his inner world. These 3 years, apart from elevating the spatio-temporal fusion rules to the dual realm, the 10 fusion rules on the Black Planet have also been successively elevated to the 4th realm. Lin Yuan thought to himself. The reason for such swift comprehension was still due to the insights from the myriad tribes' powerhouses. The 12 pillar-level fusion rules on the Black Planet, combined with the insights from the myriad tribes' powerhouses, naturally enabled quick comprehension. Black Planet. The man in the black robe silently watched Lin Yuan's incarnation walking out from the last guiding space, the emotions surfacing in his heart growing rapidly. Originally, he thought that Lin Yuan advancing a realm every 50 years in the fusion rules was incredibly unbelievable, but in the last 2 to 3 years, the speed of Lin Yuan's insights had increased dramatically. Is he still a being from this universe? The final fusion rule has now been elevated to the 4th realm, so this Black Planet is no longer very effective for me, Lin Yuan noted, standing outside the guiding space while taking a deep breath, thinking to himself. It's a pity that among the 12 pillar-level fusion rules, there is no spatio-temporal fusion rule, otherwise, it would have been much more beneficial to me, Lin Yuan felt somewhat regretful. But then again, he deemed it only natural. The spatio-temporal fusion rule, even for a supreme being, represents a foundation, a cornerstone. To segment part of the spatio-temporal fusion rule insights and create a guiding space would be too costly for a supreme being. For other fusion rules, segmenting them out is just that, if necessary, they could simply be comprehended again. But the spatio-temporal fusion rule, even if it could be comprehended again, before it was recomprehended, it would greatly affect one's own strength. If there really is a spatio-temporal fusion rule guiding space on the Black Planet, then its value could skyrocket by hundreds or even thousands of times. Other evolvers from human civilization, if they want to enter the spatio-temporal fusion rule guiding space, would need to pay far more than 100 million merit points. We can lease out the remaining 11 guiding spaces. Lin Yuan thought to himself that the lease price for one guiding space was 100 million merit points, so 11 guiding spaces would amount to 1.1 billion, equivalent to a 9th-level citizen. And this was only the price for one lease. Once this batch of evolvers had finished their comprehension, it would be another new round of 1.2 billion merit points. At this moment, Lin Yuan also realized the true value of the Black Planet. It was an inexhaustible mine of gold and silver. Even as human civilization grew increasingly powerful and the number of 10th rank evolvers increased, the price to enter and comprehend on the Black Planet could be raised even higher. Outside the Milky Way main star, Lin Yuan's purchase of resources valued at 200 billion cubic yuan had finally arrived. Galaxy Master. The one transferring these resources was a grade A 10th rank, showing respectful demeanor. Lin Yuan could sense that eyes of 11th rank evolvers were watching. 200 billion cubic universe crystals were enough to warrant the protection of an 11th rank evolver. The quantity is correct. Lin Yuan roughly counted them, then put them into his inner world. Star-Lord's Great Hall. After the 11th rank evolver had left, Lin Yuan's mind moved slightly, and his true form entered the Xianhuang secret realm through the Xianhuang seal. As for the Milky Way main star, it was overseen by the Taiyang divine spirit, deepest part of the Xianhuang secret realm. Lin Yuan's true form sat cross-legged. 10th rank body of Xianhuang at complete level, Xianhuang Qi flowed within Lin Yuan's body, spreading the Xianhuang force field throughout his surroundings spanning thousands of miles. Start the breakthrough. Without hesitation, Lin Yuan began to operate the body of Xianhuang, absorbing the vast resources before him. Thunderous rumbles. The mighty energy was devoured into his body, and Lin Yuan's body underwent rapid changes, becoming denser, his blood and organs subtly circulating in immortal essence. The stronger the physical body, the greater its nourishment to the spirit and will, even significantly affecting the inner world. 9th rank, 10th rank, 11th rank evolvers, most of their foundation lies in the inner world, but in truth, the physical body is key. Without a strong body, how can one sustain a vast inner world? The inner universes of supreme beings reach tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of light years. Do the bodies harboring such vast universes seem frail? The more Lin Yuan comprehended the changes in his body, the deeper his insights became, and that's why the 10th rank Martial Tao chapter, valued at 5 billion merit points, positioned the martial path evolutionary path close to the peak of the supreme evolution path. This was because the essence of the 10th rank chapter returned to the physical and spiritual essence, which Lin Yuan had developed after comprehending the physical and spiritual essence of the myriad tribes' powerhouses. SEA the Oval Fire. Ed website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Time slowly passed. After half a month, Lin Yuan's purchase of 200 billion cubic universe crystals worth of vast resources was almost completely depleted. At this moment, Lin Yuan had finally reached the complete level of the body of Xianhuang. 12th rank, body of Xianhuang, at Xianhuang level, even among supreme beings, was considered extremely powerful, otherwise, it wouldn't dare claim it could withstand the great universe's cataclysm. Although Lin Yuan was only at the 10th rank, having cultivated the body of Xianhuang to completion, his 10th rank was naturally different from others. My current strength, if relying solely on physical strength, probably the second tier of 11th rank life, would be suppressed by me, Lin Yuan mused, examining his physical strength. Lin Yuan's physical body was incredibly strong, a strength manifesting not only in his physical vigor but in defense as well, being near perfect. Blood rebirth combined with the elemental body made him virtually invincible. At this moment, even if Lin Yuan stood without moving, second or even third tier 11th rank life probably couldn't harm him. Even if they could barely breach his defenses, Lin Yuan could quickly recover. Try it. Lin Yuan started to release the suppression of his physical body, and the terrifying power of his physical vigor and blood began to recklessly stir everything within the Xianhuang secret realm. Is the master in seclusion this time to cultivate the body of Xianhuang? On the other side of the Xianhuang secret realm, a six-armed silhouette stood there, feeling the huge fluctuations of qi and energy from Lin Yuan's seclusion spot, feeling somewhat trembled. Shouldn't the master be just at 10th rank? Why is his Xianhuang force field so terrifying? The six-armed silhouette found it hard to believe, as the spirit of the Xianhuang secret realm, it carried many memories of the former Xianhuang, and knew about the various stages of the body of Xianhuang. But now, the commotion caused by Lin Yuan's cultivation was a bit too much. The 10th rank, body of Xianhuang, at complete level was almost no different from the 11th rank, body of Xianhuang, at complete level. Following the current cultivation trend of the master, when he steps into the 11th rank and cultivates the body of Xianhuang to completion, wouldn't he approach the 12th rank's completion level of the body of Xianhuang? The six-armed silhouette felt its spirit trembling. Even nearing the 12th rank's completion level was incredibly unbelievable. If not standing shoulder to shoulder with ultimate entities, at least it could last dozens or even hundreds of moves in front of them. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 780 Black Tower 6th Layer. Please subscribe. Is this the perfection of the Xianhuang physique at the 10th rank? At the deepest part of the Xianhuang secret realm, Lin Yuan tentatively tried his physical strength, his face showing delight. Only within the Xianhuang secret realm would he dare to do this. In the outside world, the terrifying power of his physical body could potentially impact entire star domains. Merely with pure physical strength, could he suppress a tier 11 life of the second category? What did that mean? In terms of pure physical strength, it was estimated that even the peak powerhouses of 11th rank could not do better. Now the only ones that could surpass Lin Yuan in physical strength were the 11th rank complete legendary lives. Now my understanding of rules is actually not as good as my physical body, Lin Yuan thought to himself. In fact, his understanding of rules was by no means low. By the 10th rank, he had reached the dual realm of time-space fusion rules, something no one could claim to be inferior throughout the cosmic eras. But compared to his physical body, it was still slightly lacking, especially after completing the 10th stage martial Tao chapter and remodeling his physical body based on the structure of the myriad tribes' powerhouses, plus the other enhancements to his physical attributes. As a result, the strength of Lin Yuan's physical body far exceeded expectations. The perfection of the Xianhuang physique at the 10th rank alone cost hundreds of billions of cubic universe crystals. When reaching Tier 11, to cultivate to Tier 11 perfection, that price, Lin Yuan was not without preparation for the cultivation resources needed for the perfection of the Xianhuang physique at Tier 11. The nearly 100 rare objects he obtained from the two-dimensional world, even if not completely filling the gap, would not fall short by much. But let it be known that Lin Yuan also possessed the Taiyang divine spirit and the Taiyin primordial spirit. We'll see when the time comes. Lin Yuan did not ponder any further. The enhancement the Xianhuang physique provided to himself was too significant. After reaching Tier 11, he could always go to a large alien battlefield to slaughter and gather resources. Once Lin Yuan stepped into Tier 11 with his current strength, he would be invincible within that tier, where even the 4 divine kings and the mother of the tree realm, such legendary beings, would have to step aside. If Lin Yuan wanted, it was entirely possible for him to slaughter through a large alien battlefield and thereby obtain a massive amount of cultivation resources. As for why not go to a large alien battlefield now? With Lin Yuan's current strength, he still could not ignore those 11th rank complete legendary lives wielding supreme weapons. But upon reaching Tier 11, after undergoing another Chaos Void Origin infusion, he should be about there. Apart from the Xianhuang physique, I've nearly perfected the mysterious yellow strike and the 9 steps of space-time. Lin Yuan raised his right hand, a trace of Xianhuang energy vibrating, making every strike he delivered reach 5 times the limit of his strength. The cost was a much greater expenditure of energy. But such consumption was nothing more than a drop in the ocean compared to the vast inner world of Lin Yuan. When the spatio-temporal fusion rule reaches the 5-layered realm or 6th realm, will be ready to step into Tier 11. Lin Yuan thought to himself that with his current accumulation, he could strike at Tier 11 at any time, ensuring a 100% success rate. However, doing it that way would mean that the spatio-temporal fusion rule level would not be sufficient, and his inner world would not be able to bear the highest level of Chaos Void Origin, which might not be cost-effective. For almost all life forms, they would never have the opportunity to undergo a Chaos Void Origin infusion in their lifetime. For a few life forms with astonishing talent, they get one chance, which is when they cultivate to the 11th rank peak and then strike for the ultimate realm. Lin Yuan, who had comprehended the rule of time at the 9th rank, only had 3 opportunities for Chaos Void Origin infusions, so he naturally cherished them and aimed to maximize his gains. The spatio-temporal fusion rule, Lin Yuan allocated a fraction of his consciousness to continue comprehending the spatio-temporal fusion rules. The stronger the life force, the more tumultuous the waves would be in the river of time, which would lead to a deeper comprehension of the spatio-temporal fusion rules. Adding to that, the spatio-temporal fusion rule comprehension from the myriad tribes' powerhouses, Lin Yuan was improving his own spatio-temporal fusion rule comprehension almost every second. Whoosh! Lin Yuan took a step and arrived above the Xianhuang's secret realm. Spatio-temporal fusion. Lin Yuan carefully observed the Xianhuang's secret realm. The deeper his comprehension of the spatio-temporal fusion rules became, the more he felt the incredible nature of the Xianhuang's secret realm. The method that seamlessly integrated into countless spatial layers of the universe was beyond imagination. At least Lin Yuan was far from capable of achieving it now. Within the spacetime perception of the myriad tribes' powerhouses, those in the 5-layered realm of spacetime fusion rules were far from achieving it. Even beings reaching the 6th realm, 7th realm, or 8th realm of spacetime fusion rules amongst the supreme beings probably couldn't achieve it either. Whoosh! Lin Yuan stood above the Xianhuang's secret realm, and a 6-armed silhouette appeared nearby, respectfully saying, "Congratulations, Master, on perfecting the Xianhuang physique." For Lin Yuan, cultivating the Xianhuang physique only required sufficient resources. But that was based on Lin Yuan's against heaven's understanding. In fact, cultivating the Xianhuang physique still required high comprehension. It was just that compared to the other two Tao protecting secret skills, it was not as heavily weighted. It's just the perfection at 10th rank. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly as he spoke. His strength had long surpassed the 10th rank. Just the 10th rank. The six-armed silhouette laughed somewhat forcefully, if not for his memory of the numerous disciple legends in the profound yellow lineage, who exhausted infinite heart force and resources in cultivating the Xianhuang physique, he might have believed it. Sar the Nulfer. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. And Lin Yuan's perfection of the Xianhuang physique at the 10th rank was almost comparable to the 11th rank complete Xianhuang physique. What level has His Majesty Xianhuang reached in his comprehension of the spatio-temporal fusion rules? After carefully observing the Xianhuang secret realm for a while, Lin Yuan couldn't help but ask. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 781 The Sixth Layer of the Black Tower. Please subscribe. _2-inch 9 realms. The six-armed silhouette spoke directly. His Majesty has reached the 9 realms in his mastery of the spacetime rule, just one step away from comprehending the Great Tao of Spacetime. The Great Tao of Spacetime. Lin Yuan's expression became slightly somber. An 11th rank life trying to reach the ultimate, if successful, would break free from the shackles of the river of time and would soon comprehend the Great Tao that was closest to oneself. For example, the Space Great Tao, Life Great Tao, Death Great Tao, Void Realm Great Tao. Among the 9 supreme beings of human civilization, the Void God Supreme Being comprehended the Space Great Tao. The Great Tao towers above all rules and is the fundamental basis for a Supreme Being's enlightenment. Normally, Supreme Beings would transform a certain pillar rule into their own Great Tao. As for the pillar fusion rules and the spatio-temporal fusion rule, transforming them into a Great Tao requires at least a 12th-stage powerhouse who has survived through a cosmic era. Unfortunately, a single step's difference is like that between heaven and earth. The six-armed silhouette shook its head. If His Majesty could master the Great Tao of spacetime, perhaps he would not have disappeared. Perhaps His Majesty Xianhuang has not died at all, Lin Yuan consoled. Since His Majesty Xianhuang's disappearance, with one cosmic era after another passing, the Xianhuang evolutionary path had not given birth to an ultimate being. The reason could well be related to the disappearance of His Majesty Xianhuang. Of course, whether an evolution path has an ultimate existence can be verified in other ways. Currently, the Xianhuang evolutionary path truly has no ultimate life standing at its end. But beings of His Majesty Xianhuang's caliber, who knows whether they might have ways to avoid this fact. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan's form appeared. You should also cultivate the Xianhuang physique to the 10th rank perfection. Lin Yuan glanced at the Taiyang divine spirit. The stronger the essence of life of the 2 primordial spirits, the more origin source they could bear when the chaos void origin infuses them in the future. Who? The Taiyang divine spirit immediately entered the Xianhuang's secret realm. Right when the true body entered the Xianhuang secret realm for cultivation, Lin Yuan had purchased another batch of resources for the Taiyang divine spirit to cultivate the Xianhuang physique. Having comprehended the spatio-temporal fusion rule for so long, it is time to visit the demon jade space and see if I can break through the 6th layer, Lin Yuan thought to himself. To pass the 5th layer of the demon jade space, one must thoroughly comprehend the rule of time, which Lin Yuan achieved as early as when he was 9th rank. However, the 6th layer requires the comprehension of the time-space fusion rule, and with Lin Yuan already in the dual realm of time-space fusion rules, he could certainly attempt it. I should also finalize the rewards for passing the 5th layer. Lin Yuan had already decided. The reward list for the 5th layer consisted of treasures or heritages of the 12-star level. Previously, he had been unsure of what to choose, but now he had an idea. Wang. The next moment. A sliver of Lin Yuan's spirit will, following the magic jade mark, descended upon the demon Jade space. The demon Jade space is not located within the main universe but is in the chaos void. Lin Yuan observed his surroundings and felt differently. The Xianwang's secret realm relied on the main universe, so Lin Yuan could enter it in body with just a thought. The demon Jade space, on the other hand, located God knows how far from the main universe, was a place Lin Yuan could at most arrive at with a single thought. Even so, the fact was quite astonishing. The prowess of the Moyu Tower Master in the aspect of Space Great Tao was absolutely beyond calculation. His Majesty Xian Huang. The demonic Jade Tower Master. Powerhouses from different epochs. Yet, their outcomes were quite similar. Both disappeared suddenly. Before long, Lin Yuan arrived in front of the imposing 9 floors dark tower. The stone statue Shinji had been waiting for a long time. The moment Lin Yuan descended into the demon Jade space, he was aware of it. Have you reached the 10th rank? Stone statue Shinji scrutinized Lin Yuan carefully, feeling inexplicably sentimental. From when Lin Yuan was 7th rank and became an ordinary member of the Moyu Tower, to now being 10th rank. He had witnessed Lin Yuan's progress every step of the way. Watching as Lin Yuan broke many of the Moyu Tower's records. Are you planning to choose your rewards, or? Stone statue Shinji looked at Lin Yuan and asked in a low voice. To date, Lin Yuan still had 2 opportunities to choose rewards, all held by him. One was from when he first passed the 2nd floor of the Dark Tower, and the other was the reward from passing the 5th floor of the Dark Tower. Besides choosing rewards, see th Novelfire, any *T website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lin Yuan's descent into the demon Jade space could also mean he intends to continue challenging the tower. But now that Lin Yuan had already passed the 5th floor of the Dark Tower, if he were to continue, it would only be the 6th floor. The 6th floor of the Dark Tower requires at least the comprehension of the spatio-temporal fusion rule to pass, while the 7th floor is the realm of ultimate beings. Let's start with the 7th floor, Lin Yuan spoke. The matter of selecting rewards could wait. If possible, he intended to choose the rewards for the 5th and 6th floors together. The 7th floor. Stone statue Shinji fell into a brief silence. Based on his experience, Lin Yuan had not descended into the demon Jade space for over 100 years. Now, with his arrival, he planned to challenge the 6th floor. The only possibility is that he has great confidence. Have you comprehended the time-space fusion rule? Stone statue Shinji couldn't help but ask. If he hadn't witnessed Lin Yuan creating many miracles and records, he would never have asked the question. Comprehending the time-space fusion rule at the 10th rank. Is that some kind of joke? Yet the stone statue was seriously inquiring. Because it was indeed possible for Lin Yuan to achieve it. Almost, Lin Yuan nodded. Really comprehended it. Stone statue Shinji's thoughts were complex. But he immediately believed it. Lin Yuan had no reason to lie. Go ahead then, stone statue Shinji stepped aside and opened the 9 floors Dark Tower. Walala. Lin Yuan entered the Dark Tower. Stone statue Shinji watched quietly. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 782 Black Tower's 6th layer. Seeking subscriptions, _3" with such talent and speed of cultivation, even when the master of the Moyu Tower had not reached his ultimate form, he was far inferior, stone statue Shinji thought to himself. The Moyu Tower master, who was able to establish the Moyu Tower, was naturally a peerless genius of his times, breaking a series of records before even becoming ultimate. But to discern the spatio-temporal fusion rule at the 10th rank. Even a genius like the Moyu Tower Master hadn't achieved that. Initially, the Moyu Tower Master had comprehended the rule of time at the 10th rank, but as for understanding the spatiotemporal fusion rule, that occurred only after stepping into the 11th rank. Such a talented individual would be too great a loss if damaged while striving to reach his ultimate form. Stone statue Shinji showed a hint of hesitation on his face, and Lin Yuan was currently a core disciple of the Moyu Tower. Essentially family. If he could step into the 12th rank, perhaps he could preserve the legacy of the Moyu Tower. Enough. Stone statue Shinji made his decision. 6th layer of the Black Tower. Lin Yuan's figure appeared. A vast expanse of continuously merging timespaces. Lin Yuan recognized the key to passing the 6th layer at a glance. It was having a deep mastery of the spatiotemporal fusion rule. Otherwise, even if one walked for 100,000 or 1,000,000 years, reaching the end would be impossible. I am now at the dual realm of the spatiotemporal fusion rules, drawing upon the spatiotemporal fusion rule comprehension of the myriad tribes powerhouses for reference, which brings my understanding on par with the 3rd realm. This was akin to an open book exam, where the spatiotemporal fusion rule comprehension of the myriad tribes powerhouses was the paper, and Lin Yuan could copy it even if he didn't understand it temporarily. Time passed. Soon, half a day had gone by. Lin Yuan stopped at the last step before the end. Spatiotemporal fusion, so this is how it is. Lin Yuan looked thoughtful as he slowly took the final step and arrived at the endpoint of the Black Tower's 6th layer. Your comprehension is exceptional, observing the mingling of time and space, enhancing your grasp on the spatiotemporal fusion rule. Having passed through the 6th layer of the Black Tower, Lin Yuan had a deeper understanding of the spatiotemporal fusion rule, further enhanced by the spatiotemporal fusion rule comprehension of the myriad tribes powerhouses. Now, Lin Yuan had again improved in his mastery of the spatiotemporal fusion rule, not far from the peak of the dual realm. Congratulations, you've passed the 6th layer. Stone statue Shinji had long been waiting at the endpoint. His gaze towards Lin Yuan was unavoidably complicated, knowing well that Lin Yuan wouldn't have attempted the 6th layer without being sure of it. But actually witnessing a 10th rank life past the 6th layer was still profoundly shocking. Even during the prime times of the Moyu Tower, a 10th rank life passing the 6th layer of the Black Tower. It was absolutely unprecedented and extremely rare. Not to mention, he did pass it. Why not try the 7th layer? Stone statue Shinji asked. No need, Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. He found the 6th layer quite challenging, let alone attempting the 7th layer. As for advancing his understanding through tackling the 7th layer, when the levels were too disparate, it became very hard to do. The difference between the 6th and 7th layers of the Black Tower was a qualitative leap, and forcibly attempting to comprehend was less advantageous than observing the spatiotemporal fusion rule comprehension of the myriad tribes powerhouses. All right. Stone statue Shinji nodded. Now you have 3 opportunities to select a reward from me, corresponding to the rewards of the 2nd layer, 5th layer, and 6th layer. Which one would you like to choose? Stone statue Shinji asked. Let's start with the 2nd layer reward. Lin Yuan said, mentioning the 2nd layer reward, but it was actually from the 3rd layer reward vault. When Lin Yuan had passed the 2nd layer of the Black Tower, his performance was so exceptional that he directly qualified for the rewards from the 3rd layer reward vault. Choose one from these rewards. Search * the Novel Fire, net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Stone statue Shinji waved his right hand, and a virtual light screen emerged, displaying various treasures and rare items. Lin Yuan carefully looked for a while. The opportunity to select the 2nd layer reward was because Lin Yuan couldn't find a suitable reward at that time, which is why he postponed this opportunity. This one. Lin Yuan chose the source of metallicity. This rare treasure has significant effects on nurturing weapons. If Lin Yuan's origin clock is nurtured with the source of metallicity, its growth rate will significantly increase. In the classification of numerous treasures and rare items by human civilization, the source of metallicity ranks as a 12-star, and it's a top-tier 12-star, belonging to the same category as the World Tree. No problem. Stone statue Shinji waved his hand again, and a burst of golden radiance appeared, suspended in front of Lin Yuan. Is this the source of metallicity? Lin Yuan looked it over for a while, took the golden radiance, and then turned his attention to the 5th layer reward list. Have you thought about which reward to choose from these? Stone statue Shinji, showing interest, looked at Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan had previously seen the 5th layer reward list and had hesitated. He knew this. I've thought about it. Lin Yuan nodded. I'll take this one. This one. Stone statue Shinji showed a hint of surprise on his face. On the 5th layer reward list, there were ultimate weapons for both offense and defense, as well as a few heritage secret techniques. Stone statue originally thought Lin Yuan would choose an ultimate defensive weapon, but, instead, heritage Milky Way. Lin Yuan turned towards the heritage secret techniques, his gaze slightly fervent. If it had been before his fall into that two-dimensional world, Lin Yuan indeed would have hesitated over the 5th layer reward list. He wanted both the heritage secret techniques and the ultimate weapons. But now, having journeyed through the two-dimensional world, Lin Yuan had acquired nearly 100 rare items, the least of which were ultimate weapons. Of course, even among ultimate weapons, there are levels of superiority and inferiority, and the ultimate weapons on the 5th layer reward list are somewhat better than those rare items. However, for beings below the ultimate level, unless the ultimate weapons are particularly suitable for them, there is basically no difference in this regard. Because even the lowest tier ultimate weapons cannot unleash their full potential by an 11th rank powerhouse, so they are pretty much the same. This is the bearer of the secret technique Milky Way. The 6-armed silhouette waved his right hand, and a circular crystal appeared, landing in Lin Yuan's hand. Once you return, just connect with it through your consciousness, stone statue Shinji briefly said. Okay. Lin Yuan nodded. Next is the 6th layer reward list. Stone statue Shinji's gaze carried a hint of a different shade. The virtual light screen changed rapidly, displaying a new reward list. These? Lin Yuan glanced over, his expression subtly changing. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 783 Information from Other Dimensions. Please subscribe. What Lin Yuan saw in the 6th level reward list actually belonged to the treasures and rare items from the 7th level and even some from the 8th level reward vault. After all, the rewards ultimately obtained for passing each level of the Black Tower were contingent on one's performance during the challenge. As a 10th rank life form, Lin Yuan's performance in passing the 6th level was undoubtedly top tier, even vastly surpassing the highest standard of performance. Therefore, reflected on the reward list, the level of reward he could choose from was raised by several tiers. The various rewards Lin Yuan had chosen earlier were also of this nature, which is why items like the World Tree and the Source of Metal Essence, both 11-star rarities, appeared on the 2nd level reward list. 3 rewards. There were only 3 items on the reward list in front of Lin Yuan. They were, Infinity World, Cosmic Demise, Heart of Spacetime. Lin Yuan hadn't heard of these 3 rewards, but he had a vague sense that they were incomparably precious, with few equivalents even in the human civilization treasury. Senior Shinji, what are these 3 treasures? Lin Yuan quietly inquired. The infinite world originated from the time when the Tower Master was pursuing the traces of the perfect time being. He discovered a broken world that is suspected to have once been visited by the perfect time being. Stone statue Shinji smiled at Lin Yuan and said, however, this is just the Tower Master's speculation. Even if it wasn't visited by a perfect time being, it was left by a powerhouse very close to the perfect temporal life. The Tower Master has studied this infinite world for a long time with little gain. Perfect time being. Lin Yuan's expression became slightly solemn. According to Shinji, the infinite world was at least related to a powerhouse nearly equivalent to the perfect time being. So far, Lin Yuan had only come into contact with one such entity. That was the creator of the two-dimensional world. What about cosmic demise? Lin Yuan asked again. Cosmic demise, stone statue Shinji pondered for a while, then continued, you should know that the cosmos will come to ruin. Yes. Lin Yuan nodded. The cosmos goes from birth to destruction through an unimaginable expanse of long years, a cycle known as a cosmic era. The destruction of the cosmos, the collapse of rules and the great Tao, it is a disaster for every 12th rank life in the cosmos, with half or even most of them dying. Cosmic demise is actually a set of replicated imprints that record the whole process of a cosmos beginning of destruction to complete annihilation. Stone statue Shinji paused for a moment before continuing, the ruin of the cosmos is a disaster, but also an opportunity. If one can carefully experience the process of the collapse of myriad rules and great Taos, it can greatly enhance one's understanding of rules. CTH Nefire. Ed website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. I see. Lin Yuan nodded, immediately realizing the value of this record of cosmic demise. To replicate the complete event of cosmic demise, one must be a 12th rank life in the cosmos. Yet facing the grand destruction of the cosmos, all 12th rank lives that have not survived a cosmic era are extremely cautious and careful. How could they spare the effort to replicate this scene? And to replicate, one must survive the entire round of cosmic destruction, which is essentially a death wish. Lastly, the heart of spacetime, stone statue Shinji looked at Lin Yuan. Once fused with the heart of spacetime, any being below the 12th rank can extend their time of liberation from the river of time. Extending the time of liberation from the river of time. Lin Yuan took a deep breath. He immediately realized the greatest use of the heart of spacetime. It was to attempt the ultimate. For an 11th rank life to attempt the ultimate, they need to take the ultimate leap, to propel all of themselves out of the river of time and make a major transcendence of their life essence above the river of time. During this period, the time an 11th rank life remains above the river of time is very limited. If they could extend this duration, it would definitely enhance the probability of achieving the ultimate. An 11th rank powerhouse attempting the ultimate leaps out of the river of time, which is a completely different concept from Lin Yuan being taken out of the river of time by the Xia Qin Supreme Being. When an 11th rank life attempts the ultimate, leaping out of the river of time will be resisted and suppressed by the entire river of time. For the river of time itself, an 11th rank life attempting the ultimate is akin to a fish in its own river striving to break free forever. Naturally, it will do everything to prevent it. Whereas Xia Qin Supreme Being taking Lin Yuan out of the river of time was only temporary, so even if it causes backlash from the river of time, it won't be too severe. 3 treasures, which do you choose? Stone statue Shinji looked at Lin Yuan and spoke. Heart of spacetime, Lin Yuan said without hesitation. The origins of Infinity World are immeasurable, at least connected to a great entity close to the perfect temporal life. But if Lin Yuan does not achieve the ultimate, the Infinity World, no matter how mystical, would be meaningless. As for cosmic demise, it might be significant and effective for a supreme being, but for Lin Yuan, it was slightly beyond what he needed. In simple terms, both Infinity World and cosmic demise were indeed precious, but the most immediate challenge Lin Yuan needed to overcome was attempting the ultimate. Without achieving the ultimate, both would be like flowers in a mirror or the moon reflected on the water. Therefore, choosing the heart of spacetime, Lin Yuan had no hesitation. Extending the time spent above the river of spacetime. Lin Yuan had never even heard of such a method before. The treasures and rare items currently possessed by human civilization to increase the probability of achieving the ultimate, such as the source of the universe, mainly worked on enhancing the foundation of the one attempting the ultimate, which is entirely a different type from the effects of the heart of spacetime. For example, if attaining the ultimate is likened to an examination, then the source of the universe's effect would be akin to the examinee furiously studying before the exam to increase the chances of scoring high. Whereas the heart of spacetime would be akin to directly lowering the difficulty of the paper, achieving the effect of a high score. While the goal is the same, the principles are utterly different. Okay. Stone statue Shinji nodded. At the same time, a crystal that looked like a heart appeared before Lin Yuan. The crystal was colorless and transparent, and Lin Yuan could vaguely sense that it was slowly beating. I should head back now, said Lin Yuan as he put away the heart of spacetime and promptly took his leave. Stone statue Shinji nodded, watching Lin Yuan disappear on the spot. The heart of spacetime, stone statue Shinji fell silent. In truth, such a rare treasure as the heart of spacetime was not a possession from the reward treasuries of the 6th, 7th, or even 8th layer. It originated from the core heritage treasury of Moyu Tower, a treasure that only the direct disciples of Moyu Tower, those on the verge of making the ultimate breakthrough, were qualified to enjoy. By all accounts, Lin Yuan was only a core member of Moyu Tower. He shouldn't even be eligible to know about such rare treasures, let alone acquire the heart of spacetime. But Moyu Tower today was no longer the Moyu Tower of the past. Stone statue Shinji was well aware that if they still adhered to the strict requirements for such rare treasures as the heart of spacetime, they'd probably decay without ever being used. Direct disciples of Moyu Tower? One needed to be personally scrutinized by the Moyu Tower Master to have a chance to become one. But now, the Moyu Tower Master had been missing for countless years, effectively eliminating the possibility of producing a direct disciple. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan's spirit will return, bringing back 3 treasures and rare gems. I've really struck it rich this time. Lin Yuan felt exhilarated. He had anticipated the origin source of metal and the secret skill, Milky Way, previously. But the heart of spacetime. Lin Yuan had never imagined he could obtain such a rare treasure. The heart of spacetime. With a thought from Lin Yuan, the heart-shaped crystal appeared before him, beating slowly, emitting an indescribable aura. Place it in the Xianhuang's secret realm. With a thought, Lin Yuan's true body entered the deepest part of the Xianhuang's secret realm and solemnly placed the heart of spacetime within it. The Xianhuang's secret realm was, to Lin Yuan's knowledge, the safest place, where even supreme beings could not enter. It was not an exaggeration to call it absolutely secure. A moment later, Lin Yuan's mind gradually calmed down. Although the effects of the heart of spacetime were heaven-defying, capable of directly reducing the difficulty of making the ultimate breakthrough, if his own foundation was insufficient, he would still fail to break through to the ultimate. At least, stone statue Shinji never said that integrating the heart of spacetime would lead to a 100% success rate in becoming the ultimate. There was no such method in the entire chaos void. I still need to deepen my own foundation. Lin Yuan collected his thoughts and took out the ball of golden light. That was the origin source of metal. Sigh. Following that, a bell-shaped weapon appeared, emanating wisps of suppressive force. It was Lin Yuan's origin clock that he had been nurturing up to now. Merge. Lin Yuan infused the origin source of metal into the origin clock. Rumble rumble. Having devoured the origin source of metal, the origin clock immediately began to transform, its aura retracting, rapidly reaching the 10th rank summit, and in the blink of an eye, it pushed into tier 11, still swiftly climbing. I estimate that after completely absorbing the origin source of metal, it will become an 11th rank peak weapon. By then, once I step into tier 11, with the compatibility of the origin clock and myself, it will be no worse than any ordinary supreme weapon. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Even if the origin clock reached the 11th rank peak, it would still be far inferior to a supreme weapon. But other 11th rank evolvers also couldn't bring out the full prowess of supreme weapons. Unless the supreme weapon contained a contingency from a supreme being, the potency of the origin clock would not be inferior to that of other 11th rank powerhouses wielding supreme weapons. Lin Yuan also placed the origin clock in the Xianwang's secret realm, allowing it to transform slowly. Lin Yuan then returned to the Milky Way main star. The secret skill Milky Way. Lin Yuan immediately took out the crystal stone, which held the secret skill Milky Way. After a pause, Lin Yuan immediately sent a sliver of his spirit will into the crystal, beginning to receive the vast messages of the secret skill Milky Way. Wonderful! Upon comprehension, Lin Yuan was overjoyed. Compared to the 3 Tao-protecting secret skills of the profound yellow lineage, Milky Way was more comprehensive, containing the mysteries of spacetime, mainly covering the essence of spacetime fusion rules from the 6-fold realm to the 9th realm. Lin Yuan chose this secret skill, also to prepare for when his own spacetime fusion rules reached the 6-fold realm. As Lin Yuan immersed himself in comprehending the secret skill, Milky Way, a surge from the depths of his mind woke him. Lin Yuan's consciousness quickly sank into the depths of his mind, looking towards the majestic and grand door to the myriad realms. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 784 Heaven, Earth, Humans, Ghosts, Gods, all worship martial ancestor. Subscription requested. What's going on? Lin Yuan stared at the towering door to the myriad realms. He immediately realized that the fluctuation did not come from the door to the myriad realms. Instead, it was transmitted from the many worlds connected to the door to the myriad realms. The door to the myriad realms was merely a transfer point, just a medium. Which world did it come from? Lin Yuan looked towards the bottom of the door to the myriad realms, where 10 world coordinates were sequentially engraved. They represented the 9 worlds Lin Yuan had previously traveled through and the immortal realm, which he had not yet descended into. Tianqing World. Lin Yuan's gaze landed on the world mark of Tianqing World. The source of the disturbance was indeed Tianqing World. Before Lin Yuan descended into Tianqing World, that place was facing an invasion by a foreign evil god. At that time, Lin Yuan took control of a branch of the ancestral demon tree, the foreign evil god, and ultimately replaced the ancestral demon tree, replacing the heavenly Tao of Tianqing World. He became the absolute dominion of that world. Lin Yuan had a significant impression of Tianqing World. Because the so-called Tianqing World is but a small world within the boundless void. Beyond Tianqing World lays the playground of the evil gods. Unfortunately, Lin Yuan was short on time after replacing the heavenly Tao of Tianqing World, and his stay was nearly up. He couldn't continue to explore the boundless void beyond the world. However, because of becoming the heavenly Tao of Tianqing World and leveraging the body of the ancestral demon tree left behind, he could, through the door to the myriad realms, barely communicate between the 2 worlds. Even if he didn't descend to Tianqing World, he could still transmit messages through the ancestral demon tree and roughly get some information about Tianqing World. When he had just returned from Tianqing World, Lin Yuan was quite interested in it and often inquired about the development of Tianqing World. But as time went on, he let it go, only receiving the ancestral demon tree's regular reports every so often and not paying much attention. But now, the body of the ancestral demon tree in Tianqing World had taken the initiative to send messages to Lin Yuan. In the contingencies Lin Yuan had left behind, only in an extremely urgent situation would this happen. Lin Yuan's consciousness immediately began to follow the coordinates of Tianqing World, receiving messages from the ancestral demon tree. Another invasion by a foreign evil god. Lin Yuan looked thoughtful, contemplating the ratio of the time flow speed between Tianqing World and the main universe. It was 600 to 1. 600 years had passed in Tianqing World. Only 1 year had passed in the main universe. And it had been about 300 years since Lin Yuan ended his traversal of Tianqing world. That is to say, nearly 200,000 years had already passed there. Could it be those two foreign evil gods invading Tianqing world? Lin Yuan thought to himself quietly. After replacing the ancestral demon tree, he had also inherited its network. At that time, beyond Tianqing world, besides the ancestral demon tree, there were also two ancient foreign evil gods lurking. These two foreign evil gods behind likely had even more powerful foreign evil gods standing with them. After Lin Yuan became the heavenly Tao of Tianqing world, he had some interactions with those two foreign evil gods and vaguely realized that they seemed to harbor ill intentions toward him. Because they had more than once invited him to explore a certain secret realm in the boundless void. But Lin Yuan had flatly refused them since he didn't have much time left and only wanted to peacefully secure Tianqing world. As for the opportunity of the secret realm in the foreign boundless void, the risk was too great and did not align with the goals Lin Yuan had set. Moreover, Lin Yuan also kept his guard up against those two foreign evil gods, understanding that the relationship between evil gods was almost equivalent to having no relationship at all. If it were within their power, those two foreign evil gods would not hesitate to devour Lin Yuan. Search * the novel, F. Iyer. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. After hundreds of thousands of years, why suddenly think of invading Tianqing world? Lin Yuan was slightly curious. Evil gods invade worlds but also look at the situation. Tianqing world had the ancestral demon tree as its stronghold, it had many contingencies left by Lin Yuan. Those two foreign evil gods would have to pay a harsh price to conquer Tianqing world, where the cost completely outweighed the gain. Moreover, just with those two foreign evil gods, the chances were high that they couldn't take down Tianqing world. Now that the ancestral demon tree was reaching out to him, they probably used a higher level of tactics. And such tactics, being extremely precious, were simply not worth using to invade Tianqing world. It must be that some changes have occurred in Tianqing world over these hundreds of thousands of years. Or perhaps some changes in the boundless void prompted those two foreign evil gods to forcefully invade. Lin Yuan thought to himself. What should I do now? Lin Yuan stroked his chin. The ancestral demon tree had sent a distress signal, clearly stating that the situation in Tianqing world had become extremely dire. It had far surpassed the time when Lin Yuan had originally descended, and the power of those two foreign evil gods had already penetrated into Tianqing world. Under such circumstances, if Lin Yuan did nothing, the entire Tianqing world would change hands. Very well. I shall descend once more. Lin Yuan had made up his mind. To Lin Yuan, Tianqing world still held many unknown secrets and many terrifying and powerful evil gods that ravaged world after world. The upper limit of Tianqing world was not high, but beyond it, the mysterious boundless void had a much higher ceiling. According to Lin Yuan's estimation, the entire boundless void, even if not comparable to the immortal realm, was not far off, where the strongest evil god might reach the 11th rank peak. This time, Lin Yuan's redescent to Tianqing world took in three considerations. Firstly, Tianqing world was literally his backyard, where the martial path evolutionary path was supreme, the most populous world among the many Lin Yuan had traversed with martial Dao cultivators. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 785 Heaven, Earth, Humans, Ghosts, Gods, all worship martial ancestor, seeking subscriptions, _2 After hundreds of thousands of years of development, the martial Dao cultivation system in the Tianqing world had become the only one, which was an achievement other worlds could not replicate. In other traversing worlds, Lin Yuan still needed to consider the impact of the world's consciousness, but in Tianqing world, Lin Yuan himself was the world consciousness. Within the Tianqing world, the number of martial Dao cultivators was incalculable. All of these would become the support for Lin Yuan's ultimate leap in the future, and he could not just give them up easily. The second reason was to explore the secrets of the mysterious, boundless void beyond the Tianqing world. When Lin Yuan had left the Tianqing world, he had been only at the 7th rank, incapable of exploring the more vast and expansive boundless void. But now, Lin Yuan was already at the 10th rank, and moreover, he was a heaven-defying 10th rank comparable to the peak of Tier 11. Starting from the 4th layer of Tier 11, including the 5th layer, all could be considered the peak of Tier 11. As for the 6th tier, that was the perfection of Tier 11. With Lin Yuan's current strength, throughout the entire boundless void, not to say he was the strongest, but he was likely not far off, which was just the right time to descend and see, while also taking advantage of the different flow rates of time between the two worlds to quickly comprehend the 5-layered realm of spacetime fusion rules. As for the last aspect to consider, the cost-effectiveness was just too high. Having the identity of the heavenly Tao of the Tianqing world, Lin Yuan connecting the two worlds, if he chose to descend again, the cost of the world-breaking origin force would be only 1/3 of a strand. That's right. Not 3 strands. Nor 1 strand. But 1/3 of a strand. You know, if Lin Yuan chose to traverse again now, except for the immortal realm, he would probably only be able to custom traverse. Lin Yuan's level of strength was too powerful. In the myriad realms of the heavens and the endless dimensional planes, there were few worlds that could provide Lin Yuan with aid. If he chose random traversal, he estimated that even after hundreds or thousands of times, it would be meaningless. And then there was the Tianqing world, although not as supreme as the immortal realm, but it was cheap, wasn't it? With 1/3 of a strand of world-breaking origin force, what other requirements could there be? And those foreign evil gods, wielding numerous talents and authoritative powers, involved many mysterious rules. Last time in the Tianqing world, Lin Yuan could only study the ancestral demon tree. Lacking in numbers, this time it was just right to capture more foreign evil gods for study, which might help enhance his own cultivation. That is the boundless void, different from the main universe and even the dimension where chaos void exists. The differences between dimensions, even those beings approaching perfect time beings, find it difficult to make contact. The low-dimensional space in that piece of white paper is the product of a being close to a perfect time being exploring the lower dimensional worlds. Lin Yuan, with the aid of the door to the myriad realms, can research at will and naturally must seize this opportunity. Having decided to descend to the Tianqing world again, Lin Yuan made some preparations. Traversing through worlds, Lin Yuan's consciousness would leave along the door to the myriad realms, and by that time his physical body would be akin to an empty shell. Of course, with the door to the myriad realms maintained, even if Lin Yuan's consciousness was in other dimensional worlds, he could sense the situations around his true spiritual body and could completely stop the traversal and forcefully return at any necessary moment. Almost there. A moment later, Lin Yuan's consciousness came before the door to the myriad realms again. Actually, there wasn't much to prepare, as the 12 guiding spaces of the Black Planet, Lin Yuan had already completely comprehended, and the incarnation placed there had long returned. So even if the spirit will left, it wouldn't delay anything. The few effects that remain concern the incarnation situated in the Xiaoyu Evolution Tower, currently comprehending the cosmic aurora. But Lin Yuan had just told Xia Qin Supreme Being because of reasons related to cultivation, he needed to withdraw all incarnations. Inside each incarnation, there was a strand of spirit will of the corresponding powerhouse, and withdrawing this strand of spirit will, for the sake of ensuring one's own condition, is quite common among human civilizations evolvers. As for the myriad tribes' powerhouses' comprehension of the spatiotemporal fusion rules and other 5 light orbs, to be strict, these 5 light orbs are also considered items. As long as Lin Yuan is willing to pay the world-breaking origin force, he can freely bring them into the Tianqing world. Now, Lin Yuan's accumulated world-breaking origin force was already close to 1,000 strands, which qualifies as financially robust, able to afford bringing those 5 light orbs into the Tianqing world. This time, the stay will again be 600 years. If all goes well, once the traversal ends, a year will have passed in the main world. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, silently thinking. Almost there. Soar the novel fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Let's begin. Lin Yuan looked towards the majestic and grand door to the myriad realms and immediately chose to traverse. Due to the difference in the flow rate of time, every second in the main universe translates into 600 times the time flow rate in the Tianqing world. And given the current situation in the Tianqing world, already breached by those 2 foreign evil gods, any further delay would have an even greater impact on the entire world. The next instant, all of Lin Yuan's spirit will surge into the door to the myriad realms. This spirit will include his true body as well as the 2 primordial spirits. Fortunately, Lin Yuan had already placed the 2 primordial spirits in safe locations, so no issues would arise. Tianqing world. Upon the vast lands, endless evil god puppets wreaked havoc, and a terrifying crack appeared in the sky dome, with a multitude of evil god puppets rapidly pouring in. Beyond that terrifying crack, faintly stood 2 towering figures, sinister, and evil aura pervaded, their blood-red eyes staring into the world. The beings of the Tianqing world, having to resist the invasion of the evil gods, were forced to come to the central part of the world, under the world tree that supported the heavens and the earth. Protected by the power of the world tree, as the heaven-reaching vine branches gently swayed, billions upon billions of evil god puppets were annihilated. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 786 Heaven, Earth, Man, Ghosts and Gods, all worship martial ancestor, subscription requested, _3 Without the world tree, the entire Tianqing world would have probably been breached long ago. Where would the resistance come from? Outside the world. 2 colossal foreign evil gods gazed intently. The Pavilion Master's methods are indeed unfathomable, just one strike, and he tore apart the barrier of this world. The foreign evil god on the left sent out mental fluctuations, faintly brimming with astonishment. Without the Pavilion Master's methods, the 2 of them, as foreign evil gods, would not even talk about invading the Tianqing world. They wouldn't be able to approach it and would be repelled by the ancestral demon tree. It was precisely with the Pavilion Master's methods that they managed to severely injure the ancestral demon tree and tear apart the world barrier, successfully invading. It's a pity that even after heavily injuring the ancestral demon tree, the adversary still has the strength to resist our soul talent pressure. Otherwise, all creatures within this entire world would have fallen into the nightmare world we created. The foreign evil god on the right shook its head, somewhat regretfully. That demon tree, after tens of thousands of years, its strength has become so formidable. Even the Pavilion Master's methods couldn't annihilate it. The foreign evil god on the left was equally surprised. They knew how fearsome the Pavilion Master was. Over 100,000 years ago, he had conquered a certain secret realm and greatly increased his strength, far surpassing that of ordinary evil gods like themselves. It's just that it doesn't mean much. Under the Pavilion Master's methods, it's already severely injured. If it weren't for our reluctance to sustain damage, we could have invaded the world by now. The foreign evil god on the right spoke. With the ancestral demon tree heavily injured, they had the power to invade, but they felt that they would be harmed by the frenzied ancestral demon tree, which was why they did not continue. After all, the world barrier had already been torn, the rest was merely a matter of time. They just needed to continue to slowly erode the last bit of the ancestral demon tree's strength, and then they could take the Tianqing world unharmed. The world tree supported the heavens and earth, with countless martial Dao cultivators hiding in its trunk, resisting the soul talent suppression from the foreign evil gods. After tens of thousands of years of development, and under Lin Yuan's secret guidance, in the Tianqing world, martial Tao was revered above all. As for the World Tree, it was nothing more than a backup plan left by the great martial ancestor. And the martial ancestor was the origin of martial cultivation in the Tianqing world. Without the martial ancestor, the Tianqing world would have been destroyed long before in a previous evil god invasion. Therefore, for all beings in the Tianqing world, and for the countless martial Tao cultivators, there was only one belief in their hearts. That was the martial ancestor. As for the World Tree, sheltering the Tianqing world for tens of thousands of years, it too was a contingency left by the martial ancestor. At the very top of the World Tree, where the canopy resides, it was like a vast continent, where countless martial Tao cultivators lived, and this place was also the Tianqing world's last barrier. Even if the mortal lands were occupied by the evil gods, as long as the canopy continent was not lost, the beings of the Tianqing world still had a chance, a hope. In the centralmost part of the canopy, a temple stood erect. This place was the martial hall, and also the place where the golden body of the martial ancestor was enshrined, considered the sacred realm for all creatures of the Tianqing world. No one in the Tianqing world had seen the martial ancestor, but the myth of the martial ancestor was present everywhere, and every once in a while, the high priest of the martial hall would lead the beings to worship the martial ancestor. To be precise, in Tianqing world, it is not just all living beings who worship the martial ancestor, but also all things and even the whole world itself. During each sacrificial ceremony, the heavens and the earth roar. Inside the martial hall, priests moved about, and the many martial Tao cultivators on the canopy continent, who had suffered the ravages of the evil god puppets on the human lands, were also extremely anxious. SAR the Novelier. N.E.T. website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. They had even held several martial ancestor worship ceremonies in succession, hoping to seek the help of the martial ancestor to repel the foreign evil god and save the living beings of Tianqing world. But so far, it had not been of much use. The evil god puppets were still rampaging. However, the living beings had not begun to doubt their faith in the martial ancestor. In the deepest part of the martial hall, a statue of a majestic man was enshrined there. This was the golden body of the martial ancestor, acquired through the World Tree's knowledge about the martial ancestor's partial true form and stature. In fact, this golden body of the martial ancestor was none other than what Lin Yuan had commanded the ancestral demon tree to create, spending over 100,000 years using the entire Tianqing world as the mother body, pouring in an untold amount of origin power, and ultimately nurturing the strongest physique. The purpose was to prepare for Lin Yuan's consciousness descent. This way, Lin Yuan was spared a great deal of time starting from scratch. With 100,000 years spent by the ancestral demon tree, drawing upon the infinite origin power of Tianqing world, the physique it nurtured started at the 8th layer. After being nurtured with worship for over 100,000 more years, it had already approached or even reached the 9th rank. This means, as soon as Lin Yuan descends again into the Tianqing world, he can directly inhabit this body, equivalent to those innately powerful special beings of the main universe. Moreover, this golden body of the martial ancestor was nurtured from the essence of martial Tao gathered by Lin Yuan, extremely harmonious with martial Tao. Once the consciousness descent occurs, the time to return to his peak period will be very short. Only by completely mastering a world could Lin Yuan so lavishly plan and execute such a strategy, otherwise, in other worlds, he would not have the conditions to do so. Setting other matters aside, such a physique, gathering the essence of heaven and earth, far surpasses any rare treasures, and would have long been coveted or even seized by those powerful beings. But in Tianqing world, protected by the ancestral demon tree, this golden body of the martial ancestor was able to be successfully nurtured until today. And it became the source of faith for all the beings of Tianqing world. Inside the martial hall, countless people started to worship the martial ancestor anew. Incense smoke filled the air, and countless faithful knelt towards the golden body of the martial ancestor in the deepest part, and his supreme aura enshrouded them, faintly discernible. May the martial ancestor take pity on the living beings, descend with mighty power, and repel the evil god. The high priest, a woman, knelt reverently and prayed to the golden body of the martial ancestor. At the same time, the branches of the world tree swayed, an inexplicable aura emerged, and the worship from the heavens and the earth followed closely. This world. Heaven, earth, humans, ghosts, and gods. All worship the martial ancestor. Just at this moment, a strand of will cut through dimensions and descended into the martial ancestor golden body. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible.